but have type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, or have other health issues, call Term Provider at 800-337-4168. 800-337-4168.
Civilian federal service follows countless paths, each road unique, each journey distinct. Group Term Life Insurance from WAPA has the coverage and benefits to protect you and your loved ones wherever Fed life leads. WAPA, 4 feds, 5 feds.
Once the night before Christmas and all through the house, you're wide awake, frazzled, and really stressed out. Sound familiar? Holiday stress, and treat yourself to a little more peace this year with CBD from CB Distillery. It's like your holiday survival kit. CB Distillery has natural solutions for just about everything. Stress, sleep, post-workout pain, even mood and focus. All made with the highest quality clean ingredients. It's the perfect for those on your list that have everything. With better sleep, treat your chin bugs for less pain after exercise, and grab a little holiday calm for yourself. Whether you're new to CBD or already enjoying its healing benefits, now it's the time to save 20% on everything with promo code HOLLY. Stock up now and get all your shopping. Distillery.com. Use promo code HOLLY. Distillery.com. CBDistillery.com. Not available in Idaho, Iowa, and South Dakota. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to cure or prevent any disease or condition.
The Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
In Prince George's County on the northbound side of 95, it's jammed up in Laurel between 198 and 216. Southbound side of 95, in Calverton, you'll find it slow from the ICC to the Beltway. Now onto the Beltway inner loop at College Park. Stop and go from 95 interchange to the BW Parkway. In Lanham on the inner loop of the Beltway, you're going to find it slow between Route 50 and Ritchie Marlborough Road. And in Oxon Hill, the inner loop is jammed up between St. Barnabas Road and 295. And now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
No preset for the weekend. It'll be blustery tomorrow with wind chills in the 20s all day. High temperatures around 32 Sunday with wind chills in the teens and 20s. And you'll wake up to temps in the teens Monday morning. I'm 7 News meteorologist Heidi Whalen. Right now, 38 degrees in Washington. I'm Heather Curtis. Sun News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now, on News Talk 105.9 WMAL. My pleasure. The underground once again makes contact with our
Mark, the winning here, right? 877-381-3811, 877-381-3811. Looks like this last iteration spending bill, is going to pass overwhelmingly. Looks like about 80% of the Republicans in the House are voting for it, by my calculation. Looks like most of the Democrats are voting for it. Well, multiple minds on this. Democrat president. We keep going through this with a very small majority in the House of Representatives. And I'm very sympathetic to the minority of the Republican Party in the House that says, no, that's enough. We got to start somewhere. We got to start somewhere. Elon Musk put out a statement. The speaker did a good job here, given the circumstances. It went from a bill that weighed pounds to a bill that weighed ounces. It's like 112 pages. The ball should now be in the Democrat court. I haven't heard President Trump, but my guess says he's pretty okay with this too. As I understand it, because there's not a lot of transparency by anybody on anything on any side, is that the complaint is you're not offsetting about $100 billion in spending or $50 billion or whatever it is. Now, most of that money is going towards FEMA activity in farmers. Farmers that are desperate at this point. Events that have taken place, and we know about what took place in North Carolina and Georgia and some of these other states. So that's been added into this. It's pretty much otherwise a bare bones bill. Money is not offset. And so some are saying that's enough already with the debt. But the 80% of the Republicans seem to be saying, and I guess Elon Musk as well, as this is the end of the year. What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do? We don't have the votes to do what you want to do. We just don't have the votes. What do you want us to do? And Schumer's going to block it in the Senate, and Biden's not going to sign it. And what you're going to wind up doing is you're going to drag this in for a couple more weeks and actually interfere with the inaugural events, because they can't go forward with the inaugural events if the government shut down. Now, my view is different. My view is this is all tiddlywinks. All tiddlywinks. As I wrote and posted on Twitter, as the Daily Signal picked up, we're talking about a pittance here. Pittance of money. The budget's almost $7 trillion. The on-budget debt's over $36 trillion. The off-budget debt's over $300 trillion. You see what I'm saying? And so with all this drama, I don't mind the drama. It doesn't bother me if the government shuts down, because the government actually never shuts down. 74% of the government doesn't even require annual budget votes. Did you know that? And many of you benefit from them. They're called entitlements. I don't call them entitlements. Social Security and Medicare, you've paid into them. But there are entitlements within that allotment of money. That's 74% of the money. When you add in the debt, interest on the debt, which has to be paid, when you add in Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, these are considered off-budget items, Social Security and Medicare, because you pay into them with your taxes. The interest is the interest. You have to pay for it. Veterans benefits, these other benefits, so-called, they're all untouchable. They're not part of the regular budget process. So when the so-called government shuts down, you're talking about 26% of the government. It's called discretionary spending. That's what they call it. Half of discretionary spending, 45%, is for defense. So you're really talking about 55% of 26%. So you're talking about, let's say, 15% of the overall budget every year is what they're fighting over. And defense. That's why I watch these things in utter amazement sometimes. I just do. I see Rand Paul say, this is out of control. Mike Lee, we need an experiment. These guys aren't talking about Social Security. These guys aren't talking about Medicare. They're not talking about Medicaid. They're not talking about the 68% of the budget and so-called entitlements and the interest. There's not a damn thing you can do about it because you got to pay the debt. Nobody is. Our buddy Chip isn't talking about, none of them are. And so they're fighting over 15%, and it's not even 15%. They're fighting over some fraction of a percent of the 15%. Do you see my point, Mr. Producer? So I come behind this microphone, I talk about convention of states. Do they talk about convention of states? Never. Because Washington is not going to fix Washington. That's the bottom line. Congress is responsible for laying taxes, for spending, and borrowing, specifically the House. Whether the Republicans control it, the Democrats control it, whether it's a large number of Republicans or a large number of Democrats, they can't get a budget system in place. There's supposed to be a budget system. There's supposed to be a budget process. The federal budget, for whatever the reason, goes from October 1st to September 30th. And here we are talking about a spending bill right before Christmas, 5 days before Christmas and Hanukkah, for the year that's passed already. So I'm not impressed with these so-called conservatives. I'm just not. Or anybody else for that matter. But if you're going to talk about, you're concerned seriously about the debt, because there are people who aren't on Capitol Hill. In fact, I would say majority of them. But if you're going to say you're concerned about the debt, then why don't you act like it? Why don't you talk about what I'm talking about? Because they don't want to, because they're afraid they'll lose their seats. That's why. It all comes down to immorality. This is all immoral. That's the bottom line. I don't attack Mike Johnson any more than I would attack Kevin McCarthy. Why? Because they're caught in this system. It's not a system of their making. And you might say, well, why don't they fix it? Because they don't have a majority in their party that want to fix it. The other party helped create it. The other party controls the Senate. The other party controls the presidency. Exactly what is a Speaker McCarthy or a Speaker Johnson supposed to do? I'm quite serious. And I'm sure that's why Elon Musk himself said the Speaker did a good job here. Let's go to Mike Johnson live right now. Go ahead.
The right thing. And having gotten this done now as the last order of business for the year, we are set up for a big and important new start in January. We can't wait to get to that point. We encourage swift passage in the Senate now. They need to do their job as the House just did. We will all go home. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year, because I hope not to see you until we get back again. So I was in constant contact with President Trump throughout this process. Spoke with him most recently about 45 minutes ago. He knew exactly what we were doing and why, and this is a good outcome for the country. I think he certainly is happy about this outcome as well. Elon Musk and I talked within about an hour ago, and we talked about the extraordinary challenges of this job. And I said, hey, you want to be Speaker of the House? I don't know. He said, this may be the hardest job in the world. I think it is. But we're going to get through this. We are going to unify this country, and we are going to bring the America First agenda to the people beginning in January. We cannot wait to get started. I hope you all have a great holiday.
What he's trying to say there, what he did say there, we'll have the Senate, we'll have the presidency, we'll have a bare majority in the House, but it'll be much easier for us to get together and work on this. And here's the truth. Whatever happens or doesn't happen will be completely on the Republicans now. Whether you think it should be or not, whether I think it should be or not, it will be. It will be. That's just the bottom line. And so I look at McCarthy, I look at Johnson, and I say to myself, what do people expect them to do exactly? Because the bigger problem is the system is broken, it's corrupt. That's what it is. That's why I wrote this book, Liberty Amendments. That's why Mark Meckler and I have talked about Convention of States. That's why his organization has broken its ass going from one state legislature to another to another. You had what, 30, 35, 38 Republican votes, representing about 20% of the Republicans in the House. Okay, this thing passed with well over 2/3, almost 3/4 of the vote of the House of Representatives. So we don't control the House. The Freedom Caucus doesn't control the House. It doesn't even control the Republican caucus. And this is my point. This is my point. Rand Paul doesn't represent even a small percentage of the Republicans in the Senate. And they try to put Ron Johnson They tried to put Rick Scott, I guess. Rick Scott and his majority didn't even come close. Okay, so what do? We keep whining, keep taking votes, keep replacing leaders. Well, that's not going to do a damn thing. It's just not. And Ron Paul can't get elected the Republican leader. Tom Massey can't get elected the Republican leader in the House. So what are we going to do? Keep shooting spitballs? Again, that doesn't mean you have to go along. I'm one of those that doesn't mind a government shutdown. I've been sitting behind this microphone talking about government shutdowns for 25 years. They won't actually work. It's okay. But even when they work, to what end? To some small percentage of discretionary spending? Wow, that's a big accomplishment. We have a bigger problem. A much bigger problem. And I don't know if we can fix it at this point. I'm a skeptic. I don't know. I just don't know. But there is, now listen to me, this is very important. There's a complete disconnect. These guys are working within a system that's dysfunctional. And then they attack the leader that's voted by the overwhelming majority of their party, the Republican Party. But they don't fight the system. They don't fight the system. They don't have the votes. They keep running up the mountain. They keep getting picked off. And they keep running up again. They keep getting picked off. And then they blame the general. We keep running up the mountain. We keep getting picked up. You're running up the wrong mountain. It's the wrong mountain. It's like Pickett's charge. I feel like this is Pickett's charge all the time. It's okay. And again, I told you, I don't mind a government shutdown. There were 6 of them under Reagan. There's been 21 of them since the 1970s. There were 2 of them under Donald Trump. Our friend Ted Cruz, he led a big one to fight Obamacare. He came under attack. Mitch McConnell's ideologically, almost religiously opposed to them. He's a buffoon. He's a fool. It does create leverage. It actually, in the mid and long term, helps with respect to that small percentage of discretionary spending. But what are we going to do about Social Security? The trustees say it's going broke. What are we going to do about Medicare? The trustees say it's going broke. You know what we're going to do about Social Security? There's a bill on the Senate floor that's going to pass very soon by Schumer. It's got huge bipartisan support in the House and the Senate. And you know what it does, Mr. Producer? Adds millions of people to an expanded Social Security payment. All the individuals who have government pensions besides Social Security, they don't get a full Social Security pension. The theory is they're both kind of government pensions, and so we will offset some of the government pensions from the Social Security pensions. And so they've decided, no, it's not fair. Those people should get full Social Security pensions too. Okay, fine. Where's that money coming from? Absolutely nowhere. You know how much that adds to the expenses on Social Security? Over $200 billion. In some cases, the estimate is $600 billion. So what does that mean exactly? It's fair, but Social Security is going to collapse sooner. So what are the Republicans and Democrats going to do about it? They just added more spending to it. They're not going to do a damn thing about it. I'll be right back.
But he's been News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
You know, they say free, but what they really mean is see the fine print. There's no shortage of ads from the big wireless carriers offering the latest iPhone for free. But look deeper. You realize to qualify, you need to trade in your phone valued at $1,000. You need to be on the $100 a month unlimited plan and pay the $35 activation fee. That's a lot of money for a free phone, don't you think? Well, don't fall for it. Pure Talk, my cell phone company, has a better option. Get a brand new iPhone 14, which has all the bells and whistles you need, plus get unlimited talk, text, 15 gigs of data, and mobile hotspot, all for $50 a month. Half the price of the big guys, and you get a new iPhone powered by America's most dependable 5G network. Dial pound 250 and say keyword Mark Levin. Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will make switching a breeze. Plus, when you dial pound 250 and say Mark Levin, you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, America's wireless company. Again, dial pound 250 and say Mark Levin.
On the GW Parkway southbound, it jammed up in Langley between the CIA and 123. On the southbound side of 395 in Arlington, jammed up between Washington Boulevard and Quaker Lane. Now to 66, eastbound, slow from Fair Oaks exit to 123. Westbound side of 66 in Maryfield is slow from the Beltway to 123. And on the southbound side of 95 in Springfield, stop and go between the Beltway and the Prince William Parkway. And now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Tonight, clearing, lows around 32. Tomorrow, sunny, colder and breezy. Highs around 40, feeling like the 20s with wind chill.
An O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card is the perfect gift for that hard-to-buy-for person. Give the gift of convenience from O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Once the night before Christmas and all through the house, you're wide awake, frazzled, and really stressed out. Sound familiar? Skip the holiday stress and treat yourself to a little more peace this year with CBD from CB Distillery. It's like your holiday survival kit. CB Distillery has natural solutions for just about everything. Stress, sleep, post-workout pain, even mood and focus. All made with the highest quality clean ingredients. It's the perfect gift for those on your list that have everything. Stuff their stockings with better sleep. Treat your gym buddies to less pain after exercise and grab a little holiday calm for yourself. Whether you're new to CBD or already enjoying its healing benefits, now is the time to save 20% on everything with promo code HOLLY. Stock up now and get all your shopping done. Go to cbdistillery.com and use promo code HOLLY. That's cbdistillery.com. cbdistillery.com. Not available in Idaho, Iowa, and South Dakota. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
Making sense of the headlines.
Member of the so-called mainstream news media myself for the better part of 2 decades. Here's the bottom line.
Chris Plan,
Weekdays 9 to noon.
News Talk 105.9,
WMAL.
making sense of the news.
Around the clock updates.
Common understanding.
And I want you to listen to this because this stuff is going on behind the scenes and you don't know about it.
News Talk 105.9.
Making sense of the news.
Making sense of your morning.
We like to start your day here with O'Connor and Company.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
Stop with the snooze button, roll out of bed, and get yourself where you need to be.
News Talk 105.9,
WMAL.
making sense of the news. Making sense of Washington.
I'll be the one to speak the truth on this.
Mark Levin, days 6 to 9 p.m.
We're living in crazy land.
News Talk 105.9,
WMAL.
making sense of the news.
Big news. Rob Schmidt just beat CNN in the ratings. Yeah, it's true. Newsmax's #1 host, Rob Schmidt, just had a bigger audience than CNN during any hour of the day. That really is big. Millions of Americans like you are making the switch to Newsmax. They're getting the real facts. No BS and no spin. Just the truth. Even President Trump says he's watching Newsmax. You should too. Rob Schmidt and Newsmax are on all major cable systems. YouTube TV just added us. If your system doesn't carry Newsmax, just call them and cancel. Go to getnewsmax.com and we'll help you find a new carrier. 40 million Americans watch Newsmax. Find out why. Go to getnewsmax.com and start watching. Newsmax is real news for real people like you.
Clarity and context for a complex world.
Be far more thorough and specific than ever before.
News Talk 105.9.
Making sense of the news.
WMAL. Making sense of the headlines because common sense isn't so common. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
The speaker did a good job here, given the circumstances. Went from a bill that weighed pounds to a bill that weighed ounces. That's Elon Musk. Mike Lee said Elon Musk should be the speaker. Well, now that Elon Musk supports the bill that was just passed overwhelmingly by Republicans and Democrats, does he still view that way? How about Rand Paul? You understand, folks, that some of the people who these guys would like to be speaker, it's an odd thing for senators to be talking about who they want to be speaker when they can't even control who their majority leader is, but that's all right. Donald Trump would oppose. He might oppose somebody from the Freedom Caucus being the speaker, who could never get elected speaker anyway because they can't get the other 80% of the Republicans in the House to vote for him. So why do they just strip away all the time? Or how like coyotes all the time? What do you think they contribute to it, Zach? I'll be right back.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no coverage at all. These days, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of the biggest expenses can be your car, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan. You could save thousands with one call to CarShield. Call 800-898-6155 now to see if you qualify. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Repairs for your engine, transmission, and more can become a thing of the past. Plus, call 800-898-6155 right now and get free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options. Call 800-898-6155 today and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Just call 800-898-6155 to see if your car qualifies. 800-898-6155. That's 800-898-6155. Again, 800-898-6155. Coverage varies by plans. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
News now. WMAL News at 6:30. I'm Heather Curtis. Breaking this hour, it seems like there's been a Christmas miracle. The House passed a bill to keep the government open through March. It also includes farm aid and hurricane disaster relief. It doesn't raise the debt limit, but Speaker Mike Johnson says President-elect Trump's happy about the outcome anyway.
We are excited about this outcome tonight. We're grateful that everyone stood together to do the right thing.
It now goes to the Senate. The bill includes money to replace the Key Bridge, but does not include the RFK land transfer deal. Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton says she's disappointed, but remains committed to getting D.C. control of the land so it can be put to productive use. Traffic and weather next.
'Twas the night before Christmas and all through the house. You're wide awake, frazzled, and really stressed out. Sound familiar? Skip the holiday stress and treat yourself to a little more peace this year with CBD from CB Distillery. It's like your holiday survival kit. CB Distillery has natural solutions for just about everything. Stress, sleep, post-workout pain, even mood and focus. All made with the highest quality clean ingredients. It's the perfect gift for those on your list that have everything. Stuff their stockings with better sleep. Treat your gym buddies to less pain after exercise and grab a little holiday calm for yourself. Whether you're new to CBD or already enjoying its healing benefits, now is the time to save 20% on everything with promo code HOLLY. Stock up now and get all your shopping done. Go to cbdistillery.com and use promo code HOLLY. That's cbdistillery.com. cbdistillery.com. Not available in Idaho, Iowa, and South Dakota. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
Fields has an offer that can't be beat. Get instant access to Microsoft Office Home plus Business for Windows or Mac for only $39.99. This is a lifetime license valued at $219 and 82% savings. Supply is limited, so don't delay. Get your sweet deal today at sweetdeals.com.
Making sense of the issues
Every day.
It's the comments and it's your world.
Yeah.
Hey, I disagree. You need to look at both sides. I completely agree.
One headline.
That is not. You people,
Exactly. And now we'll take a News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Making sense of your morning. This is American Morning Show.
O'Connor and Company.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9. Getting you through your morning so you can start this day and win today. What's winning today?
Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Making sense of Washington.
And that's why we at WML wake up every morning in order to help out our political leaders here in Washington.
Chris Plan.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
Yeah.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Making sense of your morning. What's the big news? O'Connor and Company with Larry O'Connor.
There's a lot going on here. Let's get right into it.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Making sense of your world.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Liberty's voice. Mark the Finn. Talk with that voice now. 877-381-3811.
The last two live Life, Liberty, and Levin programs will be tomorrow night, Saturday, and Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you can't watch it live, maybe you're watching college football or Sunday night football, please go ahead and DVR the program. You're not going to want to miss these programs. Saturday, we're going to have Representative Loudermilk, who's going to discuss in detail that January 6th report, Liz Cheney, and so much more that you haven't heard before. And my second guest is a dear friend who I've known for about 20 years, Stephen A. Smith. Absolutely fascinating, as you will see. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll have Senator Cruz. We'll discuss this debacle. And we'll also have Victor Davis Hanson, two very smart people, two of the smartest. And in less than an hour, next hour, we're going to have Newt Gingrich on the program. Now, why Newt Gingrich? Number one, he's brilliant. Number two, he's a historian. And number three, he was an incredibly successful Speaker of the House. The government shut down when he was Speaker of the House, and he was able to corral the Democrats to force Clinton to balance the budget. And so you talk to successful people, not the whiners and the complainers, not the big mouths. You talk to people who've been successful doing these things and other things for their input. Now, the fact of the matter is something interesting is happening here that nobody wants to talk about, so I'll mention it. I touched on it, but I want to elaborate a little bit, and then I want to move on. President Trump and the Speaker on this bill were in constant contact, the Speaker said, including up to 45 minutes before the vote. Elon Musk and the Speaker were in constant contact because he will be heading that program that is intended to streamline the government. So they're coordinating. It's not that Elon Musk is president, it's that these guys are smart and they're trying to do the right thing, which makes it hard for the Democrats to actually understand what's going on or even give a damn about what's going on, but them aside. So this effort has been supported, this last one, by Elon Musk and effectively by President Trump. We've been looking for any posts. We haven't seen any. So I asked myself, the 30 or 40 Republicans who voted against this, and look, I might have been one of them who voted against it too if I were a congressman. But that's not my point. Are they going to have a problem with Trump, Mr. Producer? You see my point? Are they going to have a problem with Trump? And I don't mean a political problem, an emotional problem. No, I'm talking about are they going to have a problem with the so-called populist agenda? Because populism is not conservatism. It's not traditional conservatism. It's different. Now, there are overlaps, don't get me wrong. There are overlaps, but it's different. Tariffs, as an example. Or significant interference with private business, for an example. It's not complete free market economics. You can see how the head of the Teamsters Union, who, by the way, I despise this guy. I really do. Sounds like a Marxist punk to me, but that's a whole other story. I do not despise the Teamsters. I happen to know a lot of Teamsters. That's not my issue. This guy sounds like a Marxist, and he should have endorsed Trump because the vast majority, or at least the majority of his membership, supported Trump and voted for Trump, but he couldn't bring himself to do that. So he's considered courageous for endorsing nobody. That's not courageous. That's gutless. But there you are. I'm just making a point. And by the way, the Teamsters endorsed Reagan twice. Endorsed him as an example of a real Teamsters leader. Turns out that guy turned out to be corrupt, Mr. Producer. I think he went to prison. But nonetheless, there was a Teamster leader who actually endorsed and did what his membership wanted him to do. It's a secondary point. So as I watch this, I see something a little differently, and it's concerning to me. We're going to have to be absolutely united, especially in the House, to advance the president's agenda, which he ran on and won in a landslide. If 1 or 2 or 5 members on the Republican side have their own agenda, their own beliefs, and they think that they should trump Trump's, we're going to have a problem. We're going to have a problem. You know, it's like these cabinet picks that President Trump has mentioned. I don't like the one that he picked for labor secretary, but you don't hear me leading Levinites and millions of people to fight her. Why? Because I think Trump should get what he wants, and if she turns out to be awful, he should fire her. But this is the team he wants, and he won in a landslide. And we can't keep picking him to pieces. Oh, he picked this one, and he picked that one, and he picked that one. And that's what the Democrats do. That's what the Democrats do. Trump wants, when he becomes president, a clean slate. He doesn't want to have to fight over the debt ceiling. He doesn't want to have to fight over these things. He wants a clean slate to push his agenda. And I understand that position, don't you? So these battles that have been going on for several years now, he's saying, look, I need a clean slate. I brought in a majority in the Senate. I was able to help us hold on to the House. We'll run the entire executive branch. We won't have to deal with the Bidens and the Kamala Harris. We won't have to deal with these out-of-control agencies. I'm going to bring Musk in here and Vivek in here. We're going to take a good look at this. I'm going to bring in a team in here that are going to secure the border. We're going to build up defense. We're going to slash wasteful spending. We're going to do all these things. Well, he can't do these things if we don't help him do these things. So this is going to be very interesting. And beyond interesting, it could become problematic. We'll see. You're in the right place. You're going to want to stick with me in this show. Trust me. Trust me. Others are going to be very surface level. They're going to be beating their chests. They're going to say things they think you want to hear. We don't do that here, which is why you're here. So those who voted against this last iteration, and I said, look, I might have been one of them. I don't know. I don't even know what the hell's in the bill exactly. Nobody does, outside of the people who voted. It wasn't a heavy-duty long bill. It was like 112 pages, give or take. You should be able to read that before you vote, I would think. But they're effectively voting against what I think Trump and Elon Musk and the team were in favor of. So they're going to have to come to grips with this. This is probably why Trump lashed out against Chip Roy yesterday. Like, who the hell does he think he is? He probably is annoyed with Roy to begin with because Roy backed openly, of course, Ron DeSantis against him. So there's all this stuff going on out there. My view is this. There are ways, and there have to be ways, to be faithful to constitutional conservatism and back the one man who can help turn this country around, because I don't know of any other right now. Just like the Tories in Britain with Churchill. They didn't agree with everything Churchill was doing, but they knew they had a tremendous statesman. Not always, by the way. A lot of them hated him. He was in the wilderness, as they call it, for a long period of time. And he made it easy for himself to be in the wilderness. I don't need to get into all that, but when the time came, he's one of the greatest leaders in world history. And I think Donald Trump can be that too. If the Chihuahuas and the Yorkies don't bite his ankles endlessly. If there are big issues and big fights, I get it. And I understand this fight over the CR. But this, honestly, is chump change. Chump change. Deals with a small percentage of the budget. Again, I understand the fight. And I agree that all that pork and gravy that was in that first bill was unnecessary. I got it. This last bill was stripped down. Most of the spending goes to help the farmers. It goes to help people in North Carolina and Georgia and other people. Others are saying, well, there's still too much for that. I doubt that. I don't know. But the main argument, as I understand it, is there's no offset, so we create more debt. And of course, debt's a huge problem. There are things that the conservatives in the House and the Senate can do and should do. Maybe I'll send each one of them my book, The Liberty Amendments. Or maybe I'll send them some old ideas that are great ideas from Milton Friedman on how to limit spending. You know, there's great proposals out there, not just mine, but Milton Friedman, Thomas Sowell, a whole lot of brilliant people and men over the last half century and more. Why don't they use those ideas? If they're going to fight, why don't they fight for big things? Systemic change, things that we can try to enshrine into the system. Because even if they win the day on the CR, the entitlements are going to collapse. And it's going to take the whole damn economy with it. Even if we win today on the CR, from a strictly fiscal perspective, it's not enough. It doesn't even touch the tip of the tip of the tip of the iceberg. You see my point, Mr. Producer? I'm not trying to upset you folks. I'm trying to add a little reality to this. That sometimes these guys beating their chests and patting themselves in the back of the head, in the end, they're really no better than the others. I told you about this guy, Biggs, in Arizona, when he was the Senate president, that he single-handedly blocked a vote to support Convention of States. And as soon as they broomed him out and gave him a raise and gave him a bigger position as member of the House of Representatives, they passed it in Arizona. They passed it. He seems to be happy yelling about stuff, voting on the speaker, talking about what he would do. Great. Who cares? You go nowhere fast. This is why I'm not invited to all these Republican things, Mr. Producer. This is why I'm not invited, I don't care. Federal Reserve raised interest rates 1/4 point earlier this week. They raised it 1/4 point right after President Trump's victory, so that's 1/2 point. What's it done for the economy? Absolutely nothing. Zero. Now, it can help you with your mortgage interest, but when it comes to the economy generally, it's done nothing. They're worried about the economy. They're not sure what to do. They've contributed to all the inflation. That's right. They're the drug dealers to the druggies. That is, the monetary system that is monetizing the debt for the fiscal spending that's going on in Congress. So we're seeing all kinds of shifts in the market. You saw what happened to the stock market in the last 2 weeks. It's been a disaster. So it's important to stay aware. That's why I urge you to diversify, to protect your own money in whatever form it is. If it's in a savings account, in a mutual fund, through your IRA or some other pension program, maybe it's your pension check or just your regular salary. You really need to think about this because inflation weakens the dollar. You can buy less and the price goes up. Gold has weathered every kind of economic downturn throughout history. And so when I'm talking about diversification, in my own case, I'm really talking about gold. And when I talk about gold, the best gold company there is, in my opinion, is Advantage Gold. That's my gold company. You can reach them right now. Friday evening, doesn't matter. 800-900-8000. What better time? 800-900-8000. Get a free gold investment kit to see how you can get started with gold. And I recommend Advantage Gold to anybody who's really serious about this. Again, 800-900-8000. Get your free gold investment kit. Free gold investment kit. Now you have time to look at it over the weekend, over the holidays, to really dig into this. And you might even qualify for up to $1,000 in free silver. That's 800-900-8000. Call them now. Tell them Mark Levin sent you. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional. This idea, will the speaker stay or go? This is all BS. It's a shiny object. The speaker should stay. McCarthy should have stayed. The institution's broken. One man can't fix it with a majority of a handful, and even a smaller majority next time around. I'll be right back.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
In Prince George's County on the southbound side of 95, traffic is stop and go from the ICC to the Beltway. Staying in Prince George's County on the inner loop of the Beltway, traffic is slow from Landover Road to Ritchie Marlborough Road. In Oxon Hill, the inner loop is slow from 210 to the Wilson Bridge. On the outer loop of the Beltway in Landover, there is a crash right after Landover Road. Traffic is jammed from Ritchie Marlborough Road. And in Lanham, on the outer loop of the Beltway, it's stop and go between Route 50 and the Greenbelt Mark Metro Station exit. And now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
When it happens.
This is what Washington turns to make sense of it all. Making sense of the vote.
And what's next?
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
While serving in Iraq, our vehicle was hit. They didn't think I was going to make it. I'm Latoya Lucas, and I'm a veteran. I had to learn to live with the scars, both visible and invisible.
DAV helps veterans like Latoya get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year.
My victory is overcoming my wounds so I can help other veterans.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Making sense of Washington.
I'll be the one to speak the truth on this. Mark Levin, 6 to 9 p.m. We're living in crazy land.
News Talk 105.9
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
New year, new savings and sweet deals. Save 50% or more on extraordinary restaurant entertainment deals. And don't forget to check out our amazing travel packages. Take advantage of huge savings today at sweetdeals.com. That's sweetdeals.com.
Illuminating the issues.
There's a whole lot missing here in this story, isn't there?
Free day. Why are we the only ones reporting this?
News Talk 105.9.
Making sense of the news.
Imagine the hospital experience. There's a constant parade of serious doctors, countless tests, and a serious diagnosis. Scary surgeries are followed by painful recoveries. You're in the hospital for days, weeks, months. Now imagine you're a child. This is why Starlight exists. Starlight programs help kids in the hospital cope, build resilience, bolster confidence, and change their outlook because happiness matters. Visit starlight.org to learn more.
Hi, this is Mark Levin. Will you join me in fighting the epic battle of the millennium? Do you realize that since the overturning of Roe, abortion states have seen a huge increase in patients? Sadly, babies' lives are more at risk than ever. And that's where Preborn steps in. Preborn introduces moms to their precious babies through ultrasound. When a mom in crisis hears her baby's heartbeat and sees her or him on ultrasound, she's twice as likely to choose life. To donate securely, call pound 250 and say the keyword baby. That's pound 250 baby. Or go to preborn.com/Mark. That's preborn.com/Mark. Preborn has a 100% charity rating and is a 501c3. 5 ultrasounds are just $140, helping to rescue 5 babies. And now through a match, your gift is doubled, saving twice as many babies. Trust me, you will never regret saving a baby's life. Please go to preborn.com/Mark today.
Making sense of your world.
I can't believe that. News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
With you. Making sense of the news.
WMAL, making sense of world events, because those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Now, as I'm learning more about this, so there was $100 billion in this bill for disaster aid for the hurricane-battered areas in the Southeast and other states. There was $30 billion in aid for farmers and a 1-year extension of current agricultural policy. These were the main items. There were not offsets because they couldn't get the Democrats to go along or a lot of the Republicans. So as I understand it, that's why those who voted against it voted against it. I'm not sure what Donald Trump, Elon Musk, or the Speaker can do about that, concerning the numbers in the House. Now, there's more than that. The measure did not include an extension of the debt limit. You have to increase the debt limit. An extension of the debt limit is a major setback for the Speaker and President Donald Trump. So that means this fight over the debt limit will occur relatively early on, probably in the first or second quarter of the Trump presidency. And Trump was thinking, I don't want to deal with this. I want to deal with extending the tax cuts or taxes are going to shoot up. And so this is going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting because President Trump not only wants to extend the current tax cuts, but he wants to provide no taxes on tips. He wants to provide no taxes on overtime. He wants to provide things like that. And the way the number crunchers, the green eye shade types in Washington are going to work on this, they're going to say, okay, that's going to add to the debt. And what I assume Chip Roy and the others in the Freedom Caucus are going to say is, okay, it's going to add to the debt, then we need an offset. And the Democrats are going to say, like hell, we're not giving it an offset for tax cuts, whether it's no taxes on tips, whether it's no taxes on overtime. Plus, they're going to want to screw Trump politically. And so this is what President Trump was hoping to avoid. And this actually, what I understand, is what the Speaker was trying to avoid. I haven't talked to either of them. I'm just looking at the numbers here. So $130 billion in so-called emergency funding has been approved, but without offsets. The debt limit has not been extended, which means when Donald Trump pushes early on to get these additional tax cuts in and to extend the existing tax cuts, he's now going to have to fight over the debt limit and offsets. And so this is why he got pissed off at Chip Roy and some of these other guys. I'm guessing, just looking at it. Because he doesn't want the things that he promised to people to get him elected. He doesn't want those things to be in danger. That's my guess. I'll be right back.
Making sense of your world.
Radio, where I get all of my information. News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Making sense of your work. Exactly as you feel, and honestly, right now, I'm one of them.
Chris Plant.
Weekdays, 9 to noon. Thank you, Mary.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Making sense of the headline.
Embarrassment of bridges today with so many topics that we could talk about.
O'Connor and Company.
Weekday mornings from 5 to 9. This is legitimately news.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Around the clock updates.
And uncommon understanding.
Listen to this, because this stuff is going on behind the scenes and you don't know about it.
News Talk 105.9.
Making sense of the news.
Thank you to WMAL for you, Vince. I can get my news with adult commentary from you.
Vince Cones.
Weekdays, 3 to 6 p.m.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
I know it's hard to believe, but Christmas is around the corner, and if you're thinking about what to get the firearms enthusiasts on your list, I highly recommend the rifles, shotguns, and revolvers made here in America by our friends at Henry Repeating Arms. Henry has 200 models to choose from in a wide variety of calibers, styles, and prices. You can't go wrong with it. The easiest way to check out Henry's firearms is to order a copy of their free holiday gift guide. Just go to their website. It's henryusa.com and click on the catalog button in the top right corner. They'll mail the gift guide with a few decals and give someone a Henry for Christmas. You're giving them a family heirloom built with the finest craftsmanship and performance I've ever seen. They look great, they shoot straight, they're so reliable, they're backed by a lifetime warranty for 100% satisfaction. So if you want to put something made in America under the Christmas tree, make sure you order the free gift guide and decals today from Henry Repeating Arms. That's henryusa.com for a free gift guide and decals. henryusa.com. You're going to love this company.
WMAL. Media station.
News now.
WMAL News at 7. I'm Heather Curtis. With just hours to go before a government shutdown, the House passed a bill to keep the government open until March. It's now headed to the Senate for a vote.
The House overwhelmingly approved a revised spending bill, extending government funding for 3 more months and providing more than $100 billion in hurricane relief. The measure scrapped a demand from President-elect Trump to also extend the U.S. debt limit. That proposal failed to win a House majority Thursday night. In a statement from the White House, Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre signaled the president's support, writing, while it does not include everything we sought, it does include disaster relief and eliminates an accelerated pathway to a tax cut for billionaires. Jared Halpern, Fox News.
And House Speaker Mike Johnson says he has spoken with President-elect Trump and thinks that he is pleased with the deal. The bill does include full funding to replace the Key Bridge, but does not include the RFK land transfer deal. Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton says she's disappointed, but remains committed to making it happen. She says she's hopeful D.C. will eventually get control of the RFK campus to, quote, transform it from crumbling blight to a productive and bustling complex that will generate significant revenue for the nation's capital. In a statement, she thanked a strange bedfellow, Congressman James Comer, who's been highly critical of the district, but pushed for the land transfer deal. Holmes Norton says she's pleased that the bill does include $50 million to pay for security costs for the inauguration, which is more than D.C. has received in previous years. Christmas shopping turns deadly in an eastern German city when a car drove into a Christmas market, killing at least 2 people, including a small child, and injuring at least 68. Fox's Alex Hogan.
Police tonight have 1 person in custody, with the regional governor saying that this was a man in his 50s who was a doctor from Saudi Arabia who had been living in the country for the better half of the last 2 decades. The regional governor tonight is saying that this was an isolated event, that there should be no further attacks. She'll say this perpetrator acted alone. But
this attack coming 8 years after an ISIS member plowed a truck through a crowd at a Christmas market in Berlin, killing 13 people and injuring dozens more. Extradition this week for the man connected to a late summer double homicide in Frederick County that left 4 children without their mother.
This was really a heinous targeted double murder, a crime of rage and anger.
Sheriff Chuck Jenkins on the Violent August Act that killed 2 adults, including the mother of 4 children. The other adult was the father of one of the kids. Upwards of 40 rounds of ammo were fired in the incident that is David Philip Turner facing 2 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of Crimea Baker and Sean Lang, as well as other charges. Turner, after a Thursday appearance in Frederick County, waived his bond review hearing and is being held without bond. Scotland on WMAL and WMAL.com.
A turf wars developing in the middle of Prince George's County over an old hospital campus.
The town of Chevrolet had been eyeing the 113-acre site of the old Prince George's Hospital Center for development for some time, so it was not welcome news that the council from the next town over, Bladensburg, swooped in and voted to annex the land itself, working with the same developer as Chevrolet to build its own mixed-use project. Chevrolet Mayor Casey Manena tells 7 News.
I get it. They don't get the economic development opportunities they'd like to have. This is a chance for them to grab something.
And now Chevrolet is planning to sue.
It's just not the way you do it.
John Matthews on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Traffic and weather next.
Need parts now? O'ReillyAuto.com offers in-store pickup, same-day home delivery, or next-day home shipping. Get more parts your way at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi folks, did you know that every time you tap, swipe, or insert your credit card, you're helping big banks give billions to liberal causes? It's true, but now you can fight back. Hi, I'm Rob Collins, the CEO and founder of Coin, the credit card for conservatives. You can find us at coign.com. The Coin card works like every other credit card you've ever had with one huge difference. Every time you use your Coin card, Coin donates to great American patriotic charities. That's right. With a Coin card, you get unlimited cashback rewards, Visa network security, and every time you use your Coin card, Coin donates to conservative charities. With a Coin card, you'll join a community of patriots that are building up our country and disrupting the left's domination of corporate America. So start spending right with your very own Coin credit card. Apply today at coin.com. That's COIGN.com. Be sure to select radio in the How Did You Hear About Us section. Terms apply. Go to coin.com/disclosures for details.
Here's Al BT in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
On the GW Parkway southbound, it's jammed up in Langley between CIA and 123. Now to the outer loop of the Beltway in Tyson's Corner. Traffic is slow from Leesburg Pike to Braddock Road. Also, the outer loop of the Beltway is jammed up in Alexandria between the Eisenhower Avenue connector and the Wilson Bridge. Inner loop of the Beltway in Annandale, traffic is slow from Braddock Road to Gallows Road. And in Merrifield on the inner loop of the Beltway, very slow from 66 to the Clara Barton Parkway. And now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
It's been a damp day, but now we're going to start drying out. Clouds will be clearing tonight. Temperatures this evening about 32 to 39 degrees. Saturday with a high temperature of only 35 to 39 degrees. With the wind, we've got a cold alert despite the sunshine. 7 News Chief Meteorologist Veronica Johnson in the First Alert Weather Center.
Right now, 39 degrees in Washington. I'm Heather Curtis on WMAL.
Now, broadcasting on the underground the bowels of the hidden country, somewhere under the breaking steel of a nondescript building, we once again made contact with our but then
Hello, Mark was in here. Our number 877-381-3811, 877-381-3811. Just to expand a little bit on what I ended the first segment with, first hour with, as I keep thinking this through on my own. Nobody calls me and contacts me. They know better. They can't spin it. Am I to understand then tax cuts need to have offsets, which is the way the Democrats would then kill it? You'd have Democrats and conservatives killing tax cuts. And why do I say that? Because the government treats tax cuts as an expenditure. In other words, the government treats you keeping your money as an expenditure. Now, isn't that perverse? Well, it's not in our budget to give that money back. Well, it shouldn't be in your budget, period. because it's our money. They treat as increased spending when you and I get to keep our money. That is, when there's tax cuts. Now, Ronald Reagan was a supply side. Larry Kudlow, Steve Moore, Arthur Laffer, supply side. And they said, look, we slash taxes and the economy will grow. And guess what happened? They slashed taxes, Reagan did, and the economy exploded in growth. Exactly what Donald Trump did. He slashed taxes and the economy exploded in growth. You get to keep more of your money. He reduced the federal income tax. He reduced the capital gains tax when you sell a home and so forth. He reduced the inheritance tax. So people like farmers and small businessmen, and many of you, you're able to pass along what you've earned, what you've created, and have paid taxes on to your children. So the government doesn't get to take it and then give your money to somebody else like illegal aliens. So when I come back after the break, I'm going to want to have Chip Roy and others of the Freedom Caucus on, because I'm like-minded with these people. We're the same heart. And I just want to know, are tax cuts required to be offset? Because if that's the case, the Democrats are going to do everything they can to kill it. And so you would see the most radical Marxist socialist Democrats voting with Freedom Caucus members. So I need to sort this out. I think I'm the only one that can sort it out. And we'll bring in some of these folks to discuss this with us. Like Chip, but Chip's not alone. I mean, we've got, how many of them were there? 34 of them. I want to talk to a number of them and to figure out where they stand on these tax cuts. And I think that's why President Trump was so concerned, quite frankly. And Musk too, probably. Because this could become problematic. For the promises that he made to jumpstart the economy and so forth and so on. If they come back and say to me, well, Mark, what about the debt? Then I'm going to come back to them. I'm telling you right now and say, you guys are pissing around on 15% of federal spending, and you won't even talk about the 74%. And you're going to lecture me and my audience about the debt? Are you kidding me? You don't talk about Convention of States. You don't talk about limiting spending to a percentage of the gross domestic product. You don't talk about actual fixes. It's a constant battle. And I'm starting to think these guys like it. I don't know. I need to find out. You need to find out. We need to find out together. We need to find out together, because if this is the case, the entire Reagan economic plan would have been destroyed by conservatives. Yet conservatives voted for it and wanted it and got moderate Democrats in the House to vote for it. I remember it was August 1981. And as a result, when Reagan left office, the American economy grew 35% from the day he walked in. Interest rates were slashed. Economic growth was massive. You talk about massive today, you're looking at 3.5%. We had over 7%. Over 7% quarterly growth. It was incredible. We were able to fund the military and so forth and so on. The Democrats kept spending. Reagan shut the government down at least 6 times. He was trying to get spending under control. Trump wants to get spending under control, but he has to do several things at the same time. He has to do things simultaneously. He's got to grow the economy, create wealth and prosperity so he can build up the military, so people can have jobs, good paying jobs. Well, at the same time, he's fighting the budget and fighting the debt. So I want to know. And we're going to dig into this. We don't have enough time. I've got basically an hour and 45 minutes until the holiday begins in earnest. But I'll be back. I won't forget. And I want to go through some of this with Newt Gingrich when he comes on in about 5 or 10 minutes as well. And so now the problem is, where exactly is the Republican Party headed with this? A lot of these people run as Trump supporters. A lot of these people run with Trump support. Now, are they conservatives? Are they populists? Or what are they exactly? I don't know. Now, you can be a little both. Don't get me wrong. Reagan was a little both, actually. Reagan was a little bit of both, and truth is, Trump's a little bit of both. The truth. But supply side economics would be a dead letter if you have to offset tax cuts. I'm just being honest. I'm not even saying you have to agree with it or disagree with it. I'm just explaining analytically it would be a dead letter. And the Democrats want it to be a dead letter. They want the Trump presidency to fail. So I'm just curious about how this is going to work exactly. Now, let's see, Mr. Producer, the 34 Republicans, about 20% of all Republicans, I guess that is, who voted as they did. I'm looking here, Mr. Producer sent it to me. Give me a second. Here they are. Banks of Indiana, Biggs of Arizona, Bishop of North Carolina, Boebert of Colorado, Brasheen of Oklahoma, Burchett, Tennessee, Burleson of Missouri, Cloud of Texas, Clyde of Georgia, Crane of Arizona. Let's see, Desloretius of Tennessee, Fulcher of Idaho, Tony Gonzalez of Texas. Now that's interesting. He's viewed as fairly much of a liberal. Good of Virginia, he was defeating in a primary, I believe. Gooden of Texas, Rothman of Wisconsin, Harris of Maryland, Harshberger, Tennessee, Hunt, Texas, Lesko, Arizona, Mace, kind of a head case if you ask me. Can't figure her out. South Carolina, Macy, Kentucky, McCormick in Georgia, Mills in Florida, Mooney of West Virginia, Ogles of Tennessee, Perry, Pennsylvania, Rosendale, Montana, Roy, Texas, Self in Texas, Tiffany, Wisconsin, Van Duyn of Texas. A lot of these people are really good people. A lot of these folks are really good folks. Let's see here. I don't see. I'm looking for a guy who I have the utmost respect for, Byron Donalds. Looks like he voted with the Speaker and the President. Just pointing this out. See anybody else here? Not that I can see. Gates, looks like he voted with the Speaker and the President. And so forth and so on. And I'm trying to break down all the members. So, very interesting. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Excuse me, folks. 1 second. Let me silence this thing. I think, as I understand it, she voted with the Speaker, the President. So you have an interesting mix here. Oh, she didn't vote. Let's see here. No, you're right. She did not vote. Okay. Always the danger of doing this on the fly, but sometimes that's the way it works with live radio, you know. All right, Speaker Gingrich is coming up now. We'll be right back.
What? News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
Auto parts. Sleep, especially as you get older, is so critical, especially that deep, comforting sleep. Go to helixsleep.com and find the mattress made for you by taking their sleep quiz. See, Helix knows that everyone's unique, so they have several different mattress models to match based on your body type and sleep preferences. Once you match, your mattress comes right to your door, shipped for free with a risk-free 100-night sleep trial. When you receive your Helix mattress, you'll be obsessed with it. It's so quick and fun to unbox, and you won't believe how well you sleep. You'll wake up feeling rested and refreshed. They have a 10-year warranty, and Helix even has financing options and flexible payment plans. So a great night's sleep is never far away. Helix is offering 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows. Go to helixsleep.com/news and use promo code HelixPartner20. Again, helixsleep.com/news. With Helix, better sleep starts now.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need Big Lou, a term provider. If you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Remember, Big Lou's like you, except he's only on number 2. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, visit biglou.com. That's biglou.com.
What would you do if your online store converted 36% more shoppers? You could take 36% more vacation.
Another pina colada?
Yes, please. Open a new retail location with 36% more square feet.
Fantastic.
Hire 36% more help.
You're hired and you're hired.
Shopify has the world's best converting checkout, up to 36% better than other e-commerce platforms. What you do with those extra sales is up to you. Switch to Shopify today at shopify.com/Westwood1 and get a $1 trial. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
Making sense of your morning. This is America's Morning Show.
O'Connor and Company.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9. Getting you through your morning so you can start this day and win today. What's winning today?
Talk 105.9.
WMEL.
Making sense of the news.
It's so vitally important that we have being a global society on our side, be the front runner in technologies for fighting cancer.
To give or get help, visit LLS.org. News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Hi, I'm Erica, an English major at Hillsdale College. Here's Hillsdale President Dr. Larry Arnn with Constitution Minute.
The human soul is made to learn, and the highest things of life are the best things to learn. One of these, it turns out, is the way we govern ourselves, and one of the best examples of that is the Constitution of the United States. It explains what our government should look like and how it should function to best protect our rights. It was created to give us the freedom to make choices about the way we wish to live. Unfortunately, most colleges and universities today fail to teach our Constitution. When they do, they often denigrate it. This is dangerous because it is impossible to preserve our liberty if we don't understand where it comes from and how to protect it. Having a proper civics education is essential to preserving our freedom.
To learn more and get a free pocket Constitution, visit constitutionminute.com.
This Constitution Minute was furnished by Hillsdale College.
Making sense of your world.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Major wake-up call.
Making sense of the news.
The Vince Colonnade Show.
Weekday afternoons, 3 to 6.
On News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
It's always a pleasure to have our friend Newt Gingrich on the program, especially now, a former speaker, incredibly smart individual. Hey, Newt, you saw things broke in this last vote here. Elon Musk seems to think it was pretty good. I think Trump does too. What exactly is going on here?
Well, I think you're watching the constitutional action.
All right, let's stop a second. I know that. I know the Constitution. I know there's a lot of fighting. I know this is how the Constitution works. I want to cut through that. What are they doing?
Well, you have a balance of power. The Democrats still have the Senate. They have Republicans to unbelievably narrow margin of the House. You have a Democratic president. And what you had was that President Trump, the young Mark, just saved the country hundreds of billions of dollars, stopped what the traditional system would have achieved, and put us back in a situation where they passed a much more modest bill, not what they would like. The truth is they don't yet have working control. But they had enough power and enough influence to stop about 80% of what was stupid and get it down to a dramatically better situation. And by the way, I'm probably wrong in this, but I give Speaker Johnson a lot of credit. He's got no margin. He's got no ability to move about 20 or 25 members who like to vote no every day. And he just persevered and persevered and persevered. And they got a bill which I think even President Trump thinks is so much better than where they were. You know, it gets you out of the current mess, and the dance starts again in January.
Well, this is my question. If I sit here and analyze and listen to the argument, particularly the 30 or so, And you and I are sympathetic generally with what they're trying to do. But here's my argument. If you're going to get offsets, does that now mean the Trump tax cuts have to be offset? Does that now mean that when Trump says we're going to offset, that we're not going to tax tips, that these guys are going to say, well, we need offsets? Because as you know, the government treats that as an expenditure. And when they put it on the credit and debit sheet, they say, okay, that means certain amounts of revenue are not going to come in. Does that mean Reagan's supply side economics is dead? Because, it takes a few years for that to kick in. I'm just wondering about this.
Look, I think it means you got to win the argument, which is a point that Margaret Thatcher made over and over. She said, first you win the argument, then you win the vote. The fact is that supply side economics, which is what you and I are talking about, which is the idea that you want to grow the economy and mop up inflation with more supplies, more goods, more services. And that just, drives the law crazy. Now, unfortunately, there is a percentage of the party which is very short-sighted and frankly not very well educated, and they don't get it. But the truth is, you don't offset tax cuts. Tax cuts done properly increase revenue. They don't decrease it. I mean, if you look at the long-term impact of the Trump tax cuts or the Reagan tax cuts, revenue went up. It didn't go down. And so it's totally fraudulent. But the problem you have is you've got a bunch of really bad people at the Congressional Budget Office and the Joint Tax Committee who believe in a model that simply doesn't work. They're granted a level of power which is crazy. And we fought with them for 4 years while I was Speaker. We fought over and over and over on these issues. And frankly, thanks in particular to Chen Hughes, who became the Director of Joint Tax at our request, we gradually beat them into agreeing that they don't actually score what really happens and not what their spending models show. And we score what really happens. Cutting taxes to increase economic growth actually, in the long run, increases revenue dramatically.
100%. And I think that is one of the things President Trump is concerned about. That is, if we're going to take the position that tax cuts add to the debt because they're not offset with spending cuts, we're going to be talking like the green eyeshade guys on the left, and we're never going to grow the economy, right?
That's exactly right. I mean, that's accepting the left's version of reality. The left believes in big government. They don't believe in the private sector. They don't believe in the idea of dynamics where, Jack Kemp this way on, he used to say, if you drop $5 on the sidewalk, how long does it take for somebody to notice it? And the answer is instant. Well, the left has no notion of it. And they just don't understand how the free economy works. And they don't understand entrepreneurship. And that's why, I'm worried, frankly, about 20 or 30 members of the House Republican Conference just don't seem to understand how Reagan succeeded, how we succeeded, and we got the fourth straight balanced budget for the Speaker. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't just random luck. We knew what we were doing, and we were applying the principles that work.
When we come back from the holidays, we go off. You come back in January. I want to ask. I'm going to bring in some of our friends, the Freedom Caucus, and their friends, and I want to pursue this with them because I'm trying to understand where they're coming from on this issue of tax cuts. Not only that, Donald Trump won a landslide in part talking about not taxing tips, not taxing overtime, things of this sort. And I assume that many of these members ran on that, and many of these members supported Trump in this regard. And so the question is, well, now how are you going to pursue this? How are you going to actually do what you said you're going to do, right?
Right. And by the way, if we get from Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy the right kind of proposals, we can offset $500 billion or $1 trillion in really stupid spending by Biden. I mean, we don't have to move forward with Biden's dumbest idea.
That's 100% right. So if you were voting tonight, you would have voted with 80% of the Republicans, I take it?
Yeah, I think they pushed things as far as you could. given the world we currently live in, our job is to change that world. And Trump has certainly taken.
I don't want you to move so, because I agree with this 100%. They're dealing with the world. They're dealing with the world as is. We need to change the world, but that doesn't mean we can change it right this minute, right? I mean, so you're trying to deal with what you have, and they're trying to change the world as well at some point.
That's right. And Trump is already, to be fair, Trump is, look at the bill they would have passed under Biden and realize that because Trump's now the de facto president, that in fact, they have in fact saved, 1,400 pages on the 1,500-page bill. I mean, this is a dramatically better deal than showed up 3 or 4 days ago. And the reason it's better is Donald J. Trump.
Now, if in this bill, at this time and in this place, offsets were insisted on, nothing would happen, right? Because you don't have the vote.
Right.
Isn't that correct?
That's right. I'd love to do it. Give me the votes and we'll do it.
All right. We have a break. I'd like to keep you, Ms. Gingrich, one of really the great minds and the great successes as Speaker of the House. We'll be right back.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no coverage at all. These days, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of the biggest expenses can be your car, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan. You could save thousands with one call to CarShield. Call 800-898-6155 now to see if you qualify. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Repairs for your engine, transmission, and more can become a thing of the past. Plus, call 800-898-6155 right now and get free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options. Call 800-898-6155 today and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Just call 800-898-6155 to see if your car qualifies. 800-898-6155. That's 800-898-6155. Again, 800-898-6155. Coverage varies by plans. New contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
Things remain very busy on the roadways around the D.C. area as we move farther into this chilly Friday evening. At a loop of Beltway Ford University Boulevard, a crash on the right side of the roadway, sending solid delays back to I-95 is also causing rubbernecking delays on the inner loop. Just see word of a serious crash at Colesville that affects both sides of East Randolph Road in the vicinity of Tamarack Road. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Tonight, clearing, lows around 32. Tomorrow, sunny, colder and breezy. Highs around 40, feeling like the 20s with wind chill.
8 parts now. O'ReillyAuto.com offers in-store pickup, same-day home delivery, or next-day home shipping. Get more parts your way at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Auto Parts. Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-444-9336, 800-444-9336, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-444-9336.
What would you do if your online store converted 36% more shoppers? You could take 36% more vacation.
Another pina colada? Yes, please.
Open a new retail location with 36% more square feet.
Fantastic.
Hire 36% more help.
You're hired and you're hired.
Shopify has the world's best converting checkout, up to 36% better than other e-commerce platforms. What you do with those extra sales is up to you. Switch to Shopify today at shopify.com/Westwood1 and get a $1 trial. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
Named one of the best personal finance podcasts. The Stacking Benjamin Show with Joe and his friends makes financial literacy fun.
Draymond Green has a podcast. He was asking Mark Cuban why at the beginning of 2024, Cuban sold a huge part of his company.
If you'd see how much money I got, I'm sure there's a more grateful answer than that. But dude, I bought it for $200 million and sold it for $6 billion. Like, what?
I don't think it was more graceful than that.
By searching the Stacking Benjamin podcast wherever you listen. Illuminating the issues.
There's a whole lot missing here in this story, isn't there?
Free day. Why are we the only ones reporting this? News Talk 105.9.
Making sense of the news.
As a young adult at this point in your life, you probably have a lot of questions. Like, what's next? What does my future hold? The thing is, there's no right answer, only your answer. Your friendships, experiences, and purpose. It's all your choice. So what will you choose? As you make choices about the future, the military can be a resource for information to help bring a fulfilling path into focus. A public service message from the Department of Defense. To learn more, visit todaysmilitary.com.
Do you crave the thrill of the close? Want to be a legend? Cumulus Media Talent's home for award-winning New Country 96.3 KNCS and 99.5 The Wolf KPLX is searching for a general sales manager to manage two of the top stations in the market. We offer a competitive salary, amazing benefits, and a chance to be part of a winning team. Ready to join the force? Visit cumulusmedia.com/careers to apply. That's cumulusmedia.com/careers. Cumulus Media is proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Making sense of your morning. This is America's Morning Show.
What culinary company?
Weekday mornings 5 to 9. Getting you through your morning so you can start this day and win today. What's winning today?
105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news. Making sense of your world.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Greatly appreciate it.
Making sense of the news.
WMAL. More than just politics. Because laughter is the best medicine. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Well, I'm there already. Call in now. 877-381-3811.
All right, we're here with our friend Newt Gingrich. And a couple more questions for you, Newt. And these government shutdowns, there have been 21 shutdowns since the 1970s. The country's still here. I mean, there wasn't a lot of damage done. As a matter of fact, it's used in many respects to create momentum and to draw attention to things that are going on. There were shutdowns when you were speaker, no?
Shutdowns the first year of the speaker, and the country was organized to shut down by making us the first re-elected House Republican majority since 1928. And the reason was we convinced them we were serious. And we really wanted to get things done. That's what I like about Trump and Musk intervening this week. They literally took about 1,300 pages of spending off the table without even being in office yet. So it gives me some hope that they're going to gradually get control, to be in a position to really change things.
And yet, it's just amazing. I mean, during the pandemic, they were shutting down the private sector left and right, mandates, and nobody cared about people losing their jobs. And these weren't furloughs. People actually lost their jobs and they didn't get any back pay. But then when it comes to the government, if you shut down the government for a day or two or a week, it's like the whole world's going to collapse. And in the meantime, you have 74% of the budget, really more than that, that's not shut down. The checks keep going out for the most part. And I remember Paul Ryan, when he was a budget guru in the day, he told me the government never shuts down. We're talking about 17% of the government. The government itself and the media try to make it look as painful as possible. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I would say basically a conspiracy. The politicians are news media. And they all circle the wagon. Those are the country Musk trying to send out the word. And then they sit there and they basically say any change is terrifying because, if we change A, you might eventually come around and change Z. So they try to kill any serious changes. And that's why, to me, this was the first great test after the election. We went on with, business as usual. The politicians were lying. They didn't really mean they were going to do any of these things. Or we're going to turn around and say, that election really sent a signal, and we really are going to start bringing things under control. Now, I give President Trump and Elon Musk a lot of credit for stepping in and saying, this is just wrong. And as a result, they changed the course of history. And the Democrats
apparently feel they have to go along with it because why? They don't want to be blamed for quote unquote a government shutdown?
If the Democrats are the party of government, it's their allies who get paid with your tax money. It's their allies who rely desperately on you taking care of them. It's their allies who are hurt if anything breaks down. So there's enormous pressure. I mean, enormous pressure to you end up in a situation where the conservatives, the people who want to change government, are confronted head on with every government. Plus, by the way, the local real estate agents, you know, all the people who make money out of Washington. So if you're in Washington, and mainstream politics mostly comes out of Washington. So it is driven by people who go to cocktail parties with folks who don't agree with you and me.
So you feel pretty positive about what's taking place and what's going to take place, particularly when it's compared to in the context of what Biden's been doing and what the Democrats have been doing, correct?
So, yes, I feel positive for two very different reasons. One, because they actually did change the course of history. They did actually cut out spending. They did actually have a direct impact. But two, yeah, I think for the very first time, President Trump and his folks realized they're going to have to take control of the Congress. They have to figure out what do they have to do to make sure, to make sure that they can get the things they want out of Congress. You want to pass the joint tax cut? You better have a majority of the House and Senate that'll do it. You want to pass real spending cuts? You'd better have a majority of the House and Senate do it. I don't think they realized till this week how really complicated that was going to be, but now they do, and I'm confident they're going to do.
All right, Ned. Have a wonderful Christmas and New Year. You're a good man. I can tell you're a little under the weather. Come on now. Short notice, but great. Take care of yourself.
Thanks.
You're a good man. He's really a good guy. He really is. And smart as hell. And you can see how effective he was as speaker. But he and I agree we're going to have to ratchet down on this issue of tax cuts and see where that's coming from with respect to offsets. Now, I believe in offsets. I do. But not for tax cuts. I don't. Because that's not government spending. That's government wishing government was spending more money than government should have. It's got it ass backwards. That's our money. It's not their money, and they shouldn't assume it's their money. You know, they used to talk about zero-based budgeting. Carter used to talk about it, complete phony. But there ought to be zero-based budgeting. That is, every year you start with a zero base. But it never works that way. And that's what Trump is trying to address. I mean, I want you to think about how remarkable this is. That we actually have a president and a team that really wants to slice and dice the massive size of this government. Now, I want you to think about something else. Donald Trump didn't come to this as some kind of conservative philosopher and government cutter. In fact, his background originally was as a fairly liberal Democrat. Elon Musk didn't come to this as a fairly conservative fiscal, government reduction guy. He was a liberal Democrat. And so these are men who've seen the problem. These are men who, if they remain liberal and remain Democrats and have a much easier life, they'd be much more popular out there with the, beautiful people. But these are men who've seen the problem, who love their country and want to do something about it. They don't have to. One's the richest man on the face of the earth. The other man's a multi-billionaire who's put his life on the line. He doesn't need any of this. Neither of them need any of this. Unlike the Democrats, the Biden family needed government in order to get rich. Most of these Democrats in government need government in order to get money and power. Trump did not. Musk did not. And Vivek did not. And if these are the people who are trying to lead this battle, they ought to get our support. They ought to get our backing. I think they do for the most part. I think they do. I guess the way my mind works, I noodle over things, I noodle over them, I think about them, I need to better understand the philosophical basis for what some of this is. I do. I understand we need to cut the budget 100% in. I don't understand why we're not addressing entitlements. That I don't understand from those of us who believe we need to cut the budget and we need to save some of these programs that people have invested in over 30, 40, 50 years of their careers. And how do we do that? Because they've been turned in many respects into these Ponzi schemes by the Democrats and some Republicans. So how do we fix that? And who's going to fix it? Nobody talks about it. Why? Because it's political suicide. Okay. So you don't win re-election. Who cares? Country's more important. But I want to pursue tax cuts. Do tax cuts have to be offset? Now, if tax cuts don't have to be offset, great. Let's hear about it. But if the argument is, and I need to hear about it, they're going to be reducing the income that the government gets, and of course the government ultimately gets a hell of a lot more income, but maybe not in the first year. Well, then how are we going to square that circle? I just need to know. I need to understand the logic behind this. I'm not trying to confuse you. I'm not trying to get into the weeds. This is basic stuff. I need to better understand this, and we will when I come back, because I'm going to pursue it. So we know who actually is pursuing what and who is not. But I need to understand if supply side economics is now considered a deficit creator, which is what the left has always said, and as Newt said, is what the bureaucracy has always said, because they want to keep your money. I need to understand what that is. If offsets are required, I think that in part is what the Trump people are worried about. And we're going to find out. One other thing about this $130 billion that was in this bill. You got $100 billion in there to try and help our fellow citizens as a result of these hurricanes. They're not new programs. It's not about climate change. It's not funding non-governmental organizations with radical left-wing agendas. It's not funding lawsuits. It's funding disaster relief. We saw what took place. That's what that's funding. The bulk of this is funding that. Then $30 billion for farmers. I don't pretend to understand the particulars of that. But again, it's not a new program. It's not redistribution of wealth in the Marxist sense or the economic socialist sense. These people need help. And I don't mean welfare. They need help. Whether it's weather conditions or the communist Chinese or things that have taken place that are completely out of their control. Some of the hardest people who work in this country are farmers. And more of them are going out of business, and more of them are selling and they're getting out. Well, guess what? That's problematic because food doesn't just show up at the grocery store or the supermarket. Somebody has to grow it, somebody has to harvest it, somebody has to package it, somebody has to deliver it, somebody has to put it on the shelves and sell it, and on and on and on. The rest of us, we're the end user. We go, I don't know. Should I get the 95% fat-free beef to make my hamburger? Or the 92%? Yeah, that's great, but somebody had to do all that. Yes, indeed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Christmas and Hanukkah, today's the 20th. They're 5 days away. Can you believe that? 5 days away. My favorite time of the year, Thanksgiving and Hanukkah and Christmas. My favorite times of the year. Means peace for many of us. We look at our blessings. We look at our family and friends. But for those in Israel, they face an ongoing war. Fear, uncertainty, massive anti-Semitism. All over the globe. Canada, another synagogue was shot up. This one synagogue has been shot up for the third time. But it's going on all over the world. As a result, in part of this new crusade, where people in the Middle East, from these countries, have moved into Europe, have moved into Canada, have moved into the United States. During this holiday season, many living through the war in the Holy Land are grieving. They're grieving the loss of loved ones. They're trying to take care of family members who've been severely harmed and injured through this war. Many of them feel isolated as the world turns on them. Many of them are just plain hungry. Folks, we need to show the people in the Holy Land that we stand with them. Many of you are going to go to church and synagogue in the next few days. Think about this. That's why I'm partnering with the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. Think about it. What is Christmas all about? In fact, what is Hanukkah all about? Very, very important. Now, your special holiday gift, which is tax deductible, your special holiday gift to the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews helps provide a Hanukkah food box filled with basic necessities and essentials to help bring nourishment and warmth and comfort to someone in need. Please give the gift of hope now. I won't be here to talk about it for the next few weeks. Tonight's a great night to do it. You'll answer the prayers of thousands of people this holiday season. Please call 844-866-IFCJ. They're there right now. And you can make your gift. And I'll tell you what, you're going to feel great about it. That's 844-866-IFCJ, 844-866-IFCJ. I'll be right back.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
Auto Parts. Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need Big Lou, a term provider. If you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Remember, Big Lou's like you, except he's only on number 2. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, visit biglou.com. That's biglou.com.
Hey, it's the doc thing. Okay. Email address, shipping address, billing address. How many fire hydrants do you see? How'd you hear about it? Let me text you.
Oh, forget it.
If your online store doesn't use Shopify for checkout, your customers will just, check out. Shopify has the world's best converting checkout, to 36% better than other leading e-commerce platforms. That means fewer abandoned carts and more for your business. So switch to Shopify at shopify.com/Westwood1 and get a $1 trial. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
Fresh perspective you can only hear here. This is something called the First Amendment, which is supposed to allow free expression.
Vince Calanaise.
Weekdays 3 to 6 p.m.
News Talk 105.9.
Making sense of the news.
The Cumulus Podcast Network featuring the biggest names in talk. Hello, Ben here. Rich Valdez.
Rich Valdez here with you.
Dan Bongino.
Folks, nothing is working.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Making sense of your morning. Lots of coverage here on that developing story.
O'Connor and Company.
Weekday mornings from 5 to 9.
Larry O'Connor here, getting you through your morning.
Making sense of Washington.
Asking some very specific questions, some legitimate questions.
Making sense of the double standard.
And here's the latest example.
Making sense of the headline.
Let me break it down for you, because there's plenty to break down here.
O'Connor and Company with Larry O'Connor.
Weekdays 5 to 9 a.m. News Talk 105.9.
Making sense of the news. Every time I feel my baby kick, I sing. You don't understand. I never sing. I'm not good at singing. I'm the only person I know who's been booed off a karaoke stage. But that was before I was pregnant. Today, I'm a singer with a captive audience of 1. She doesn't boo me. She never will. We know how it feels. We're the March of Dimes. Find out how we can help you have a healthier baby at marchofdimesbaby.org.
Making sense of your morning.
I just started your day here with O'Connor and Company.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
Stop with the snooze button, roll out of bed, and get yourself where you need to be.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
MAGA has done it again. With a presidential victory and a red wave sweeping the House and the Senate, conservatives are back in the driver's seat. But as the fight to restore America begins, now is not the time to get complacent. You've the chance to be part of this movement, not just as a voter, but as a member of a powerful organization that takes its marching orders directly from you. AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. Join AMAC today for only $1 for your first year. You'll be part of a movement and you'll get fantastic benefits and discounts. But don't wait, this special offer ends December 31st. Join AMAC today. $1 for your first year. Again, great benefits and discounts and be part of a crucial movement. Just $1. But don't wait, this special offer ends December 31st. Join AMAC today and help us continue the fight for a brighter, freer future. Visit amac.us/LEVIN right now to claim your $1 membership. That's amac.us/Levin.
Making sense of your world.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
WMAL, making sense of education, because what's happening in your kid's school matters. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
You know, as I sit here, ladies and gentlemen, this is true. Friends or people I've never spoken to in my life or people I haven't heard from. It's an amazing thing. I tell you things I don't tell anybody else. I'm telling you. I get texts, I get emails, sometimes phone calls. Hey, I have a book coming out. Can I come on? Haven't heard from this guy in 2 years. And they all want to come on TV and radio. I have 4 guests on TV. I think to myself, why don't they go to somebody else who has like 10 guests a night? Because that somebody else doesn't want them. It got so bad that Rush Limbaugh decided not to have any more authors on in the last, say, 5 or 6 years of his radio career. He said, no, that's it. I can't keep this up. Because I can have an author on and to help them, an author I like, a book I like, and then every time they write a book, they assume that they're entitled to come on. Well, I have to protect you, the audience. I have in front of me right now, listen to this, 8 books from friends and people I don't know. 8 books. Every request to go on TV, every request to go on radio. Now, if I bring all these people on TV and radio, I won't have a TV show anymore and I won't have a radio show anymore. And you know what's interesting, Mr. Producer? None of them care. It's crazy. And so that's why I publicly have to announce, I can't put all you people on radio and TV. I wouldn't listen to the Mark Levin Show or Life, Liberty, and Levin. I wouldn't. Now and then I'll have somebody, something might interest me, something might be compelling, but just to have a conga line on, it's ridiculous. I am not C-SPAN. I'm not C-SPAN. They say free, but they really mean is see the fine print. There's no shortage of ads from the big wireless carriers, the big three, offering the latest iPhone for free. But it's not free. You'll realize, to qualify, you need to trade in your phone valued at $1,000. You need to be on the $100 a month unlimited plan and pay the $35 activation fee. So far, very expensive. For free, it's a lot of money. For a so-called free phone, well, you're not going to fall for it because you're my listener. Pure Talk. Pure Talk's the best in every respect. The company has a real moral mission. It was built to serve its customers. It was started by an entrepreneur who's a veteran. It's a patriotic company based here in the United States, as is their customer service. That's my cell phone company. They have a better option. Get a brand new iPhone 14, which has all the bells and whistles you could possibly need. Plus, get unlimited talk, text, 15 gigs of data, and mobile hotspot, all for $50 a month. How about that? Half the price of the big guys, and you get a new iPhone powered by America's most dependable 5G network. So please dial pound 250. Now's the time. Pound 250, say keyword Mark Levin. Keyword Mark Levin. Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will make switching a breeze. It's easy. Plus, when you dial pound 250, say Mark Levin, you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, America's wireless company. Our final hour of the year. 2024 is coming up, the Power Hour. I'll be here. I hope you'll be as well. Be right back.
Making sense of your world.
I won't say you're doing fantastic. Stock 105.9 WMAL. You guys all know.
Making sense of the news.
Need parts now? O'ReillyAuto.com offers in-store pickup, same-day home delivery, or next-day home shipping. Get more parts your way at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-444-9336, 800-444-9336, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-444-9336.
What would you do if your online store converted 36% more shoppers? You could take 36% more vacation.
Another pina colada? Yes, please.
Open a new retail location with 36% more square feet.
Fantastic.
Hire 36% more help.
You're hired and you're hired.
Shopify has the world's best converting checkout, up to 36% better than other e-commerce platforms. What you do with those extra sales is up to you. Switch to Shopify today at shopify.com/Westwood1 and get a $1 trial. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
Making sense of your morning. Big news. Connor and Company with Larry O'Connor.
There's a lot going on here. Let's get right into it.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news. Illuminating the issues.
There's a whole lot missing here in this story, isn't there?
Free day.
Why are we the only ones reporting this?
News Talk 105.9.
Making sense of the news.
This podcast is sponsored by Laurel Road. At Bigger Pockets, we're always trying to find ways to help you maximize your buying power, which is why you should check out Laurel Road. Laurel Road's banking and lending solutions include student loan refinancing, mortgages, personal loans, student loan cashback credit cards, tailored savings accounts, and more. Laurel Road's high-yield savings account features 0 monthly service fees. There are no minimum balance requirements, and it costs $0 to open. It's a great solution for the cash portion of your portfolio. So visit laurelroad.com/pockets to learn more. Laurel Road, your partner on the road to financial peace of mind. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
WMAL FM, Woodbridge, Washington. Plus media station.
News now.
The House meets the deadline. This is a Fox News alert. I'm Tom Rigotti. That's on to the Senate. A short-term spending bill to prevent a government shutdown at midnight clears the House. Fox's Jared Halpern reports.
Hours ahead of a government shutdown, the House overwhelmingly approved a revised spending bill, extending government funding for 3 more months and providing more than $100 billion in hurricane relief. The measure scrapped a demand from President-elect Trump to also extend the U.S. debt limit. That proposal failed to win a House majority Thursday night. In a statement from the White House, Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre signaled the president's support, writing, while it does not include everything we sought, it does include disaster relief and eliminates an accelerated pathway to a tax cut for billionaires. The legislation must still win Senate approval. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
A deadly incident as Germans celebrate Christmas at a market in the eastern part of the country as a car crashes into revelers. Fox's Alex Hogan has the latest.
We're learning more about the victims of Magdeburg, including 2 who have been confirmed dead. One of them was a small child. Police have 1 person in custody, with the regional governor saying that this was a man in his 50s who was a doctor from Saudi Arabia who had been living in the country for the better half of the last 2 decades. The regional governor is saying that this was an isolated event, that there should be no further attacks. That is not stopping other Christmas markets tonight from closing, as people are scared of what potentially could happen in other places. Despite that, German officials say this perpetrator acted alone, but we know that as many as 68 other people are wounded and that 15 of them have serious condition.
German officials warn the number of those killed could continue to rise.
America is listening to Fox News.
Win some, lose some. I'm Sharon Reardon from the Novak Motors News Desk. Good evening. The bill the House passed to keep the government open until March does include full funding to replace the Key Bridge, but does not include the RFK land transfer deal.
Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton says she's disappointed, but remains committed to making it happen. She says she's hopeful D.C. will eventually get control of the RFK campus to, quote, transform it from crumbling blight to a productive and bustling complex that will generate significant revenue for the nation's capital. In a statement, she thanked a strange bedfellow, Congressman James Comer, who's been highly critical of the district, but pushed for the land transfer deal. Holmes Norton says she's pleased that the bill also includes $50 million to pay for security costs for the inauguration. Heather Curtis on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Extradition this week for the man connected to a late summer double homicide in Frederick County.
This was really a heinous targeted double murder, a crime of rage and anger.
Sheriff Chuck Jenkins on the Violent August Act that killed 2 adults, including the mother of 4 children. The other adult was the father of one of the kids. Upwards of 40 rounds of ammo were fired in the incident that is David Philip Turner facing 2 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of Crimea Baker and Sean Lang, as well as other charges. Turner, after a Thursday appearance in Frederick County, waived his bond review hearing and is being held without bond. Scotland on WMAL and WMAL.com.
And 2 men in Montgomery County were arrested for stealing cooking oil. Police say Michael Cordones Lopez and Patricio Cordones Molina used crowbars, sprayed and locked grease dumpsters to steal it from downtown Silver Spring restaurants. This may sound bizarre, but cooking oil can be sold to companies that make biodiesel for more than $2 a pound. One victim told police their restaurants were robbed of about 20,000 pounds of it. Both men face burglary charges. WMAL News Time is. I'm Sharon Reardon, and now here's your WMAL traffic and weather from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
On the outer loop of the Beltway toward University Boulevard, the earlier accident has been cleared. Delays still moving back towards I-95, but they are dissipating. Interloop across the top side is slow from 355 to New Hampshire Avenue. Serious accident currently in Colesville affects both sides of Randolph Road in the vicinity of Tamarack Road at Tourmaline Court, so steer clear of that area. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Tonight, clearing, lows around 32. Tomorrow, sunny, colder and breezy. Highs around 40, feeling like the 20s with wind chill.
An O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card is the perfect gift for that hard-to-buy-for person. Give the gift of convenience from O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Auto Parts. This podcast is sponsored by Laurel Road. At Bigger Pockets, we're always trying to find ways to help you maximize your buying power. So check out Laurel Road. Laurel Road's banking and lending solutions include student loan refinancing, mortgages, personal loans, student loan cashback credit cards, tailored savings accounts, and more. And right now, for a limited time, Laurel Road's high-yield savings account has an annual percentage yield that's up to 10 times the national saving rates. That's way more than the savings rate you could get from some of those giant banks. The fully digital account they offer features 0 monthly service fees, it has no minimum balance requirement, and it costs $0 to open. So visit laurelroad.com/pockets to learn more. Laurel Road, your partner on the road to financial peace of mind. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-444-9336, 800-444-9336, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-444-9336.
Now, on News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Mark Levin.
This is the last hour, 2024 of this program. Great. We'll be back next year. Full steam ahead. And don't forget, Life, Liberty, and Levin. The last 2 live shows of the year, and we will have specials beyond. The last 2 live shows of the year, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, and Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. 2 tremendous shows, 4 great guests. I've worked very hard on the opening statements. Not that that's your problem, but I'm just letting you know I think you're going to love them. And you can always set your DVR, your smart TV, I know there's a lot going on. The holidays are here. You've got college football. You've got professional football. I get it. And we're in the teeth of it. 8 p.m. Eastern time on Fox. We're in the teeth of it like nobody else. And yet, because of you, we score every single weekend. So as I say, if you can't watch it live, or just in case you can't, you should go ahead and set your DVR, your smart TV. You can set it this weekend and every weekend beyond. Doesn't cost you anything. Again, 8 p.m. Eastern Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Sunday, Life, Liberty, and Levin on Fox. I very much look forward to these last two programs to really end the year, and in many ways to start the new year, 2025. That even sounds great, doesn't it? And it's going to be a great year. I feel it in my system. And by the way, that's all thanks to you, what you did on Election Day. You don't get enough credit in this audience, millions and millions of you. But I give you credit because I know who you are and I know what you did. Fantastic. Over at the Daily Signal, which is an excellent site, Mike Gonzalez, who I have enormous respect for, this man works hard every single day exposing the left at the Heritage Foundation, which I also have enormous respect for over the decades. It's really a fantastic organization. And he asks a question. Is the Northern Virginia campus of George Mason University, the great George Mason, one of the greatest of the founders, cultivating a nest of anti-Israel and anti-Semitic terrorist supporters, a half-hour's drive from the nation's capital? News reports that 3 of its students, all of Middle Eastern origin, imagine that, have had recent run-ins with the police over weapons and pro-terror material, are troubling, to say the least. Now, we've touched on this, but I want to pursue this further with you. 2 of the students are Palestinian American sisters, and leaders in the school's chapter of Students for Justice in Palestine. This is in my view, a terrorist-supporting front group. That is, it supports terrorist organizations. Hamas, Islamic Jihad, Hezbollah, whatever terrorist organization is pledged to destroying the Jews. One of the main organizers of the protests, riots, and encampments at George Mason, that is, Students for Justice in Palestine, in Columbia and other universities over the past year, the raid of their home, which turned up guns, ammunition, and anti-Semitic and anti-American hate material, has been reported for a few days, though the legacy media has been downplaying the story. Of course, we've been underscoring the story. Here's the twist. But it has also emerged overnight that another George Mason University student, an Egyptian national named Abdullah Ezeldin, Taha Muhammad Hassan, Abdullah Ezeldin Taha Muhammad Hassan, was arrested this December for, according to the charging papers, distribution of information relating to explosives, destructive devices, and weapons of mass destruction in furtherance of the commission of a federal crime of violence to an FBI informant. Wow. I didn't see this on TV. Did you, Mr. Producer? It's amazing. It's sickening. He was arraigned for also planning, quote, a mass casualty attack at the Consulate General of Israel in New York City, using an explosive device and rifle, quote unquote. He chose the consulate because it was, quote, a building that represented the Yahud, which is Arabic for Jew. The charging paper said Hassan was communicating with the FBI informant through X, that is Twitter, which revealed that 2 X accounts were both accessed via an IP address associated with a university campus in Northern Virginia, within the Eastern District of Virginia. On that same day, the FBI observed Hassan on the university campus. That would be George Mason, the law school named after the late, great Justice Antonin Scalia, which was one of the most conservative public universities in America up till about 10 years ago. The university confirmed to us, writes Gonzalez at the Heritage's Daily Signal, that Hassan is enrolled at Mason. The university was asked when University President Gregory Washington knew about Hassan's arrest, whether he's also a U.S. citizen. Quote, more information will be forthcoming in a message from President Washington, likely Wednesday. Rose Pasquale, the school's vice president for University Life, said in an email. Should be more like university death, given what these people are preaching. Pasquale added that Hassan, to the best of our knowledge, is not connected to Students for Justice in Palestine. The Palestinian American sisters were very much connected to the group, which is why George Mason has suspended the chapter on at least an interim basis. One of the two sisters, Noor Khanna, an undergraduate, is the current co-president, as we pointed out the other week, of Students for Justice in Palestine, while her sister, Jenna, a graduate student in engineering, is the past president. The guns were registered to their father and their brother, Muhammad, also a George Mason alumnus. Wow, George Mason's having a hell of a time with admissions, isn't it? All three children live with their parents. Must be a fantastic upbringing. Police and the FBI raided their home in November and found AK-47 and 8 AR-15 rifles, multiple rounds of ammunition, an explosive device. Did anyone hear this on MSLSD or CNN or any of the Sunday shows? They also found sounds that read, "Death to the Jews," signs that is, "Death to the Jews," "Death to America," and the flags of Hamas and Hezbollah, both of which the United States government has designated as terrorist organizations. It's okay. Free speech. According to press reports, the FBI has not commented, but the spokesman for the Commonwealth's attorney in Fairfax County, where George Mason is located, confirmed to local press that police found the guns, the ammunition, and the pro-terror material. Now, the sisters apparently have been previously suspected of threatening and violent activity. According to the Jerusalem Post, quote, the pair, has the Washington Post investigated this? How about the Holocaust-denying New York Times? Has the Biden administration done anything about this? No. According to Jerusalem Post, the pair were suspected of involvement in a vandalism act at GMU in August. We pointed this out, where students defaced the student center with spray paint messages threatening a student intifada. Washington Free Beacon has reported that the Hamas sisters were suspected of involvement in an ensuing melee, causing thousands of dollars in damages. How exactly George Mason University, which actually has a conservative reputation despite its lavish spending on diversity, equity, and inclusion and other social justice programs that actively foment anti-Israel animus, has become a hotbed for an anti-Israel, anti-Semitic terrorist supporters is difficult to say. Well, I have a thought. The border is open, massive immigration from all over the world, including the Middle East, including terrorist states in the Middle East, including Palestinian organizations and territory. That could be a little bit of a hint. Don't you think, everybody? Because it's happening everywhere. Canada is a hellhole. London's become a hellhole. Paris has become a hellhole. Amsterdam's become a hellhole. Jews are now being hunted. There are Kristallnachts happening every night that aren't reported. Synagogues being shot up. Jews being beaten to a pulp, chased down alleyways. At the very least, Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin and the U.S. House of Representatives Committee on Education and the Workforce, to be headed by Representative Tim Walberg, Republican Michigan, should start looking into why Students for Justice in Palestine and foreign nationals on student visas appear to be fomenting much of the belligerent activity we see on our college campuses today. More specifically, an investigation should begin on whether Students for Justice in Palestine is an abettor of terrorism and therefore deserves to be shut down. Yeah, you might say that. Look at these presidents of the group with arms and weapons and ammunition. Flags of terrorists. Flags kill the Jews. Yeah, this could be problematic, I think. Crickets. Crickets. Oh, yes, you know. Did you see this in Poland? This is really unbelievable. You see what's going on in Poland? Yes. You know, Auschwitz is in Poland. And the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, was planning on attending it. an anniversary, the 80th anniversary of the liberation of the Auschwitz Nazi concentration camp in Poland. Times of Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will reportedly now avoid traveling to Poland for next month's events, marking the 80th anniversary of the liberation of the Auschwitz Nazi concentration camp in Poland, fearing he might be arrested. Arrested. The major event is planned for International Holocaust Remembrance Day on January 27. It's expected to be attended by dozens of leaders and heads of state, including Britain's King Charles. According to a Polish outlet, Israeli authorities haven't contacted their Polish counterparts about attending the event, and officials in Warsaw believe the reason is related to Poland's stance, that it will arrest Benjamin Netanyahu as a result of the ICC's warning, should he come to Poland. The report also says President Isaac Herzog does not plan to attend the event. So the Prime Minister of Israel, the President of Israel, will not be attending the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz in Poland because the Polish government will arrest the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister of the Jewish state. For so many victims of the Holocaust, including Auschwitz, fled to what we call Israel. And the Prime Minister of the Jewish state, the Jewish Prime Minister, will not be able to attend the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz because the Polish government will arrest him and throw him in prison. Got that? Sick. Screw them. I'll be right back.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This podcast is sponsored by Laurel Road. At Bigger Pockets, we're always trying to find ways to help you maximize your buying power, which is why you should check out Laurel Road. Laurel Road's banking and lending solutions include student loan refinancing, mortgages, personal loans, student loan, cashback credit cards, tailored savings accounts, and more. And right now, for a limited time, Laurel Road's high-yield savings account has an annual percentage yield greater than 4%. That is up to 10 times the national savings rates. Plus, it features 0 monthly service fees, no minimum balance requirement, and costs $0 to open. So visit laurelroad.com/pockets to learn more. Laurel Road, your partner on the road to financial peace of mind. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-444-9336, 800-444-9336, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-444-9336.
Hey, just the socks. Thanks.
Great. Name, birthday, email address, shipping address, billing address. How many fire hydrants do you see? How'd you hear about us? Can we text you?
Get it.
If your online store doesn't use Shopify for checkout, your customers will just, well, check out. Shopify has the world's best converting checkout, up to 36% better than other leading e-commerce platforms. That means fewer abandoned carts and more for your business. So switch to Shopify at shopify.com/Westwood1 and get a $1 trial. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
What would you give for a child you loved? To make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. You see, wishes are so powerful, and you can make them real. You can give a child back their childhood, even change the way they feel. Every single one of us can make the stars align, because when we come together, and joy will shine. Wishes need stars like you. Visit Make-A-Wish@wish.org.
Making sense of Washington.
I'll be the one to speak the truth on this. Mark Levin, weekdays 6 to 9 p.m. We're living in crazy land.
News Talk 105.9
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
The Christmas and Hanukkah season is a time of hope and peace for many of us. But for those in Israel facing the ongoing war, it's a time of fear and uncertainty. The hardships are felt by everyone, with many people struggling to afford food and basic necessities. During this holiday season, many living through the war in the Holy Land are grieving the loss of loved ones while also enduring isolation and hunger. We must not let them feel forgotten by the rest of the world, and that's why I'm partnering with the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. Your special holiday gift to the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews helps provide a Hanukkah food box filled with basic necessities and essentials to help bring nourishment, warmth, and comfort to someone in desperate need. Give the gift of hope and answered prayers this holiday season, please. Call 844-866-IFCJ and make a tax-deductible gift today. That's 844-866-IFCJ, 844-866-IFCJ, and may God bless you.
Making sense of your world.
Listen to Overtime News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
It doesn't decrease because you're
Making sense of the news.
WMAL, making sense of the forecast. Because you never know what Mother Nature has in store. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
We have a little audio. It was in the article on the Daily Signal. Michael Gonzalez had written, interviewing students at George Mason University's campus shortly after the genocide, the massacre of the Jews on October 7th. Cut 12, go.
Did you guys see the news reports about them parachuting or hang gliding into that rave?
I don't know what detail, but I don't think we did all that, to be honest with you.
You don't think so? The baby story you were talking about, I keep asking people because that was babies whose heads were cut off by Hamas, this terrorist group. What the protest here today was celebrating Hamas. And that's why we're confused. Were they really calling them martyrs?
Some people saying they're freedom fighters, and other people saying they're like terrorists.
They have been designated as a terror group by the U.S. since 1997. Do you think that matters at all, or is that kind of up for debate as well?
I think that's gone.
Like, it's really done much worse to the people of Palestine. For one side, they decide to fight back because of their land. They're just going to make a big deal about that. They'll make it.
Do you think making a big deal about rape and murder is a bad thing?
I'm not supporting those actions at all. But like, listen, I'm supporting them fighting out for the country. Have they gone too far? Okay, maybe they've gone too far with that, obviously. But if they want to stand up for the country, if the way to do it, maybe they took a bit too far.
They're celebrating the attacks, which are done by Hamas. Do you think that counts as supporting Hamas? Not necessarily. I think that they're kind of not in a way celebrating, because obviously, like, their country is in like a very bad position right now. Like, there's a lot of war and a lot of like destruction happening to both sides. Honestly, like, I think that just peace would be great with things too.
God help us, God help us. This from the Jerusalem Post, not the Washington Post. Third time this year, shots fired at Jewish school in Canada. The current incident is the third time gunshots were fired at the school this year, with similar incidents recorded in October and May. Unbelievable. Toronto, a hotbed of Jew hatred, but the entire country of Canada is. We had that wonderful guest on last week, who's a Canadian author and journalist, and laid it out, hook, line, and sinker, of what's been going on, in Canada. What's going on in our country, what's going on all over the world. It's frightening. Absolutely frightening. And yet there it is. By the way, the Daily Mail interactive map reveals disturbing pattern in the drone sightings across the United States. You thought I forgot. An interactive map has revealed a disturbing pattern in drone sightings across the U.S. An unexplained drone invasion has targeted America's military bases worldwide since October, beginning with a swarm over Langley Air Force Base in Virginia. The pattern became evident with similar activity was reported over New Jersey's Picatinny Arsenal on November 18. Less than 1 week later, U.S. bases in England and Germany began grappling with incursions by small unmanned aerial systems. Back in America, sightings were gaining traction. Multiple instances of drones appeared over New Jersey's Navy Weapons Station, Ohio's Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, closed its airspace due to similar activity on December 13. The list of affected bases continues to grow, with one in Texas joining the ranks after drones were spotted on December 18. In White Settlement, that's right, you heard me, White Settlement, home to the Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base Fort Worth and Lockheed Martin, residents and police officers observed drones flying in formation about 100 feet in the air, sometimes hovering in groups of 6. Christopher Cook, police chief in White Settlement, said, "We haven't seen the formation of drones like that before." The White House said that sightings near or over the Department of Defense are not new. The Department of Homeland Security, Department of Defense, Federal Aviation Administration, and FBI released a joint statement on the matter. The sighting started at Langley, when top Pentagon officials were baffled by a swarm of mystery drones that carried on for 17 days. One of the 2 fixed drones flew more than 100 feet in the air as smaller quadcopters, as they're called, the size of 20 commercial drones, flew slower and below them and occasionally hovered. And it goes on and on. Now, who might be behind this? I told you I believe it's the Communist Chinese government. I believe it's the Communist Chinese government. Chairman McCall, the House Armed Services Committee, he agrees with me. He believes that the Chinese government too. And why would Biden and the regime be covering it up? Because Biden is the Manchurian president, for God's sakes. That's why. I'll be right back.
If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles and have an auto warranty about to expire or have no warranty at all, listen up. CarShield is offering a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan at an all-time low in price that covers more parts than ever before. Call CarShield now to find out how you could pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs and lock in your price today. Call 800-898-6155. That's 800-898-6155. 800-898-6155. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
You know, Americans love using their credit cards, one of the most secure and hassle-free ways to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com, guardyourcard.com, paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
An O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card is the perfect gift for that hard-to-buy-for person. Give the gift of convenience from O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or anxiety? If you're a 50-year-old male, even 40, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-444-9336, 800-444-9336, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-444-9336.
What would you do if your online store converted 36% more shoppers? You could take 36% more vacation.
Another pina colada? Yes, please.
Open a new retail location with 36% more square feet.
Fantastic.
Hire 36% more help.
You're hired and you're hired.
Shopify has the world's best converting checkout, to 36% better than other e-commerce platforms. What you do with those extra sales is up to you. Switch to Shopify today at shopify.com/Westwood1 and get a $1 trial. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
Making sense of foreign policy.
The issue here is what's best for America.
Mark Levin.
Weekdays 6 to 9 p.m.
This is your country.
News Talk 105.9.
WM.
Making sense of the news.
As a young adult at this point in your life, you probably have a lot of questions. Like, what's next? What does my future hold? The thing is, there's no right answer, only your answer. Your friendships, experiences, and purpose. It's all your choice. So what will you choose? As you make choices about the future, the military can be a resource for information to help bring a fulfilling path into focus. A public service message from the Department of Defense. To learn more, visit todaysmilitary.com.
Making sense of the headlines.
of the so-called mainstream news media myself for the better part of 2 decades. Here's the bottom line.
Chris Plan.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Fresh perspective. You can only hear here.
There's a little thing called the First Amendment, which is supposed to allow free expression.
Vince Calanaise.
Weekdays 3 to 6 p.m.
News Talk 105.9. Making sense of the news. Powerful perspective you won't get anywhere else.
It's kind of amazing. You don't see this sort of thing every day.
News Talk 105.9.
Making sense of the news.
Making sense of your morning.
Developing story.
O'Connor and Company.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
Larry O'Connor here, getting you through your morning,
Making sense of Washington.
asking some very specific questions, some legitimate questions.
Making sense of the double standard.
And here's the latest example.
Making sense of the headline.
Let me break it down for you because there's plenty to break down here.
O'Connor and Company with Larry O'Connor.
Weekdays 5 to 9 a.m. News Talk 105.9. Making sense of the news.
Making sense of your world.
This is no conspiracy theory. This is a fact. Here it is.
Mark Lippin.
Weekdays 6 to 9 p.m.
Listen to this, would you?
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Hey, I'm Reba McIntyre. In life, you'll hear a lot of people tell you that you can do anything you want. I'm here to tell you that's true. Since I was a little girl, I dreamed of becoming a successful singer and entertainer. It took a lot of hard work, dedication, and perseverance to find my success, but it was worth it. I never gave up on my dreams. Remember, you can never have a dream come true until you've had a dream. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Making sense of your world.
Thank you for everything you do for this country. We need more of you.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
WMAL. Making sense of the road. Because traffic doesn't always follow the pattern. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
He's driving the media. Matt. Well then, call in with your outrage. 877-381-3811.
Yep. Okay, here we are. Here we be. Now, many of you are feeling the stress over the holidays. I mean, Christmas and Hanukkah 5 days away. You're probably thinking, oh, good Lord, my credit card's already at max. I got another credit card. I've got this balance. The interest is crazy. What am I supposed to do? You're not alone. Prices are higher and higher. People are maxing out on their credit cards. The interest is unbelievable. And so I want to throw you a lifeline. Now's the perfect time to take control of your finances and pay that debt off. Now, if you're a homeowner, you're in a great position. You're in a great position. American Financing, which is the best of the best. It's not a big bank or anything like that. It's not a big mortgage company. It's a family-owned business. They can help you unlock the equity in your home and start saving. Their customers save $800 to $900 a month. Can you imagine what you could do with that money? That's over $10,000 a year. Imagine what that could mean to your family. It's all your money. You get to decide whether you're going to pay 30% or 6%. And that refinance interest up to $10,000 is tax deductible. That interest you're paying on credit cards and car loans and all, none of that's tax deductible. You take it right in the neck. Plus, if you act now, you could even delay 2 mortgage payments, giving you extra cash for the new year. Wouldn't that be great to start the new year off with no debt and to kill those massive monthly credit card payments? And here's the deal. It costs nothing to find out how much you can save. It costs nothing to find out how much you can save. 5 days until Hanukkah, Christmas. That's right. 11 days, New Year's Eve. What do you say you get things in order? It's not hard to do. Call American Financing. Call one of their salary-based mortgage consultants. They're not going to give you the bum's rush. They'll lay it out for you. Here's the number for American Financing today. I urge you to do it. 888-900-1828. Hello. 888-900-1828. Hello. 888-900-1828 or visit AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Mm-hmm. What he said. Oh, yeah. What he said. So Luigi Maggioni, Mr. Producer. Luigi Maggioni. Mayor Eric Adams said at a press conference, I wanted to look this guy in the eye. By the way, I know my buddy Sid can't stand Eric Adams. For good reason, a lot of reasons. But I have to say, for a mayor of a big city, in fact, the mayor of the biggest city, this guy is more moderate than most of these mayors. You look at this guy in Chicago, that guy is a nutcase. He's a radical kook. You look in LA, she's a nutcase. They're not even as big as a nutcase as the nutcase in Chicago. But when it comes to violent illegal immigrants, when it comes to some of these things, I mean, the guy at least sounds good. And he meets with Tom Homan, a great guy. So even if he was sort of left center, he's obviously moved more center. I think you'd have to call him a fairly moderate Democrat. Right? Don't yell at me. Don't shoot spitballs at me. I mean, compared to some of these other nut jobs, it's the truth. Cut 10, go.
Of the day, and that is Richie Mangione arriving back here in New York. First and foremost, why did you feel the need to go to the heliport and actually greet him to get off that train?
I was at a conference a few days ago with the top CEOs, IBM, Deloitte. It was a room full of CEOs and governmental officials. And the intentional shooting and the response after really traumatized the entire industry. Not only the CEOs, but the employees. People forget that. And I wanted to send a strong message with the police commissioner that we're leading from the front. I'm not going to just allow him to come into our city. I wanted to look him in the eye and stated that you carried out this terrorist act in my city, the city that the people of New York love, and I wanted to be there to show the symbolism of that.
Wow, yeah. What are you doing that for? Says the reporter. Well, that's good. That's good that he did that. And I'm very pleased that he did that. We have this guy, Chris Cillizza. We used to mock him, make fun of him. I think he worked for the Washington Post. I can't remember. But he was always a Democrat Party ass kisser. He was. Oh, he's a journalist. Yeah, that's what I said, a Democrat Party ass kisser. And you notice all this stuff now with these phony journalists, phony news outlets, New York Times, Wall Street Journal News Division. Oh, yes, Biden didn't know what he was doing. The staff protected him. He wasn't competent to serve out of 4 more years in his second term. Oh, we conservatives have been saying this for years. Oh, but you're partisan. No. We conservatives have said it for years. Kamala Harris lied. Joe Biden lied. The cabinet lied. The Democrat Party and Congress lied. The media lied. They all lied and lied and lied. They were perfectly happy. If Joe Biden had a second term, it didn't matter. Because other people were running the country. See, because they believe in democracy and elections, you know. What a bunch of sleazeballs, the whole damn bunch. So Chris Cillizza, Substack. I should have known. I mean, God's sakes, I'm a journalist. I should have asked questions. Hey, dummy, if you just listen to this show, you didn't need to ask anything. And not just my show, a zillion shows. We all saw it. The American people saw it. We talked about it here. We talked about it on Blaze. We talked about it on Fox. Everybody talked about it on Fox. Everybody talked about it on Talk Radio. Everybody's talking about the guys. The guy doesn't have 2 brain cells to rub together. And, oh, yes, he does. He's Einstein. He's really great. And they're all watching the morning schmo on MSLSD. Oh, yeah, this guy, he's sharp as a tack. Yeah, it's unbelievable. We've never seen anything like that. Okay, great. I even did a show on Fox that compared to Professor Irwin Corey, this comic. It just spewed gibberish. Didn't make any sense. Never made any sense. Just like Joe. Oh, here he is, Chris Cillizza, if that is his name. Yesterday, cut 9, go.
As a reporter, I have a confession to make. I should have pushed harder, earlier, for more information about Joe Biden's mental and physical well-being and any signs of decline. So let me explain. Joe Biden was president from 2020 to 2024. I worked at CNN through 2022. During that time, the early part when I was at CNN, 2020 to 2022, people Republicans would regularly ping me and say, why don't you ask more questions to Joe Biden and how he's doing? He's 76, 77, 78-year-old man. And I would sort of brush them off because what I would say is, well, there's no obvious evidence that he's declining.
All right, stop there. There's no obvious evidence? What, you get a slap in the face? Cold bucket of water over your head? What do you mean there's no obvious? Maybe there's something wrong with you, pal. Go ahead.
It's a little slower, but there's no evidence that he's declining. And
How slower?
the white.
He's not talking at all. He's talking gibberish. He's slurring his words. He can't read a teleprompter when he's reading his note cards. And they tell him next note card, he's reading next note card. What are you talking about? He's wandering around. Heads of states have to show him the direction. He's staring into Neverland. His eyes are wide open or they're closed. What are you talking about? These are America's investigative reporters. These are the people who bring us the news. By the way, Mr. Readers, do you hear that noise? Do you hear the noise? Let me tell you what's going on in the Levin household. It's a wonderful thing. Today, in the bunkers where I am, above the bunker is the first floor. And it's hardwood floors. And our two beautiful little baby boys, our dogs, got brand new bones. And they're having a blast. And you know what? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. They're happy. They're happy. They're happy. I'm happy. That's that noise up there, just so you know. All right, do I have something to do? We'll be right back.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Need parts now? O'ReillyAuto.com offers in-store pickup, same-day home delivery, or next-day home shipping. Get more parts your way at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Auto Parts.
Deal has an offer that can't be beat. Get instant access to Microsoft Office Home plus Business for Windows or Mac for only $39.99. This is a lifetime license valued at $219 and 82% savings. Supply is limited, so don't delay. Get your sweet deal today at sweetdeals.com.
Your phone has a lot of apps, but how many of them help you make sense of your world?
The Yale app gives you the latest headlines, perspective from the voices you trust, and weather info to keep you in the know.
All without having to remember yet another password. All with the new Benevolent Troll. Making sense of the news.
Making sense of your world. This is no conspiracy theory. This is a fact. Here it is.
Mark Levin.
Well, you can come up and spew off for a few minutes if you want, Wiggin. Then I'm going to end it. Relax. Chill out. It's not letting me recover my other account yet, fuckers. Which I'm about ready to go on vacation anyways. I'd take a fucking 30-day R&R and come back in a month. How's that sound? You won't see me for a month. I bet a lot of people would be happy with that. I'm looking at on my screen. It's backwards, but when I look on my phone, you can read it. Look at it backwards there, but when I look at it like this, it says Governor Wildcats. Dutchie, why are you here, Dutchie? Huh? You think the Dutch are the only ones that fucking helped build America? You dumb fucker. Hi, Mr. Wiggin. Rex Pictorum. Your
You
volume.
know, there's a setting on there for mirror image, dude.
Yeah, I see that. I just haven't played with it too much. You know what I mean? I see what's going on. I'm trying to recover my other account, and it's not letting me recover it yet.
That isn't Dutchy. That's some other dipshit from fucking Amsterdam.
Dutchy, Whippermantle, and fucking acid.
That is not Dutchy. That's a fucking punk ass bitch from Amsterdam who's tried to attach himself to my leg. I don't even know this faggot here.
All right.
It's just another one of those Dutch fucking queers. That's all it is. He's got a hard on for me. I don't even know the prick.
Just made him disappear.
Another psychotic douchebag in YouTube is all it is. Probably Rusty convinced him of something. What do you make of the current events, Billy? That's what I wanted to ask you. What do you make of all this going on here lately?
Up with it, isn't it?
Huh?
Yeah. They're flying drones. They're spying on us. Duh. You know?
No, Billy. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about YouTube. No.
Okay, YouTube.
Those are our drones. Those are our drones. Those are not foreign drones. Come on, man.
Our government's they're supposed to be the watchdog on that. I have no fucking idea. Anyways, as far as
they're private drones. They're the government doing it. They passed a law now to outlaw drones. They don't want drones in the airspace. Okay, it's just the way that politicians and government manipulate things that they want. Now everybody's afraid the Chinese are invading us, so they pass laws, so now we can't have drones. Everybody's using them. Google Earth uses them. There's drones up there, but there's just getting to be too many of them. So now you got to get a license.
Well,
probably.
we have permission to shoot them down. Yeah, we do.
They're not. No, they're not gonna. It's not even that. It's nothing. It's just bullshit, man. It's just shit. The news has
Whether
to put
it's
out.
Chinese or not, everyone who's using them, they're fucking. They got to be spying. Why else would you do that?
Dude, a fucking foreign drone would not enter our airspace, dude. They'd shoot it down over the ocean. Come on, man. Use your head.
Oh, our government's supposed to handle that. We entrust our
They
government.
would handle that. They're not going to let them fucking fly drones in our airspace, man. We got fucking airplanes flying around. We got passenger jets. They're not going to let that happen, man. Fuck that. Come on, use your head, man. A helicopter flying after a police chase can't even enter airport airspace, man. There's a certain protocol. They can't even.
Yeah, they communicate.
They can't even go there.
Yeah, they have to get permission and shit like
So
that.
they're not going to let these fuckers just fly around wherever they
You ever
want.
been in a helicopter?
Yeah, in the Army, briefly. We had to jump out about 10 feet off the ground, 15 feet off a rope, I think, something like that for training.
I've never been in a helicopter. Alex Bay, there's you can get helicopter rides over there. I'm not sure how much they are. That guy's been there.
Hey, you know what? Acid trip. Nobody gives a fuck. Go kill yourself, dude. You should go kill yourself. You've turned out to be a real douchebag, acid trip. Nobody gives a fuck about your doxing, you stupid fucker. You're a psycho. You got the wrong drugs, acid trip. You're a real dickhead. You know that? Why don't you grow up, motherfucker? Get a life. You're a piece of shit, dude. All you do all day is dox people, man. You're fucking worthless. You stupid fucker, man. You're a real stupid douchebag, acid trip. You can face me anytime, jackass. Anytime you think you got the balls, bitch. I don't like fucking pussy boys like you. Little fucking snitch. Wish you were in my jail cell, bitch. I'd punk your fucking ass out so fast, boy. I'd have everybody fucking you, man.
Hey, to
Fucking
answer your question
dickhead.
about chat,
Be a
hopefully-
man, Acid Trip. Be a man, dude.
hopefully I did
Boy,
Jason
dick.
right.
You're being a pussy. Jesus. You don't know how stupid you look from out here, dude. Worried about where everybody lives and shit. Nobody's coming, you dumb motherfucker. God, you can't go. I can't go anywhere without these fucking dickheads fucking following me around somewhere. You know that?
Oh, did you see how I had
Absolutely.
Gotti and all them triggered in Vegas? They're triggered. They're all worked up. Gotti's worked up. JT's worked. We got them all worked up.
I don't see that when I go on in Vegas. I see everybody kicking JT's ass in for him.
No, yeah. Well, I've got them all.
That's what I see.
Oh,
I
yeah,
see.
he's getting his ass
I
kicked.
see everybody beating on JT. That's all I ever see. I don't see
Yeah.
Gotti because that little cunt blocked every single one of my
Throw him
accounts.
out.
He's total
DA?
fucking pussy.
DA's blocking me. The only one that does it is the fucking Logical come in. Everybody's got to have him blocked. So I just block his. He'll come in. I'll let him spam me for a little bit. Fucking idiot.
Yeah, it gets
This
annoying.
fucking Acid Trip is in my backstage. You want me to let this fucker up?
Yeah, let the fucking jackass bitch up here.
Yeah, so what you got to fucking say to me, Joel? You're running up the
Yeah,
fucking
I'm
mouth,
talking
Joel.
to you, boy. I don't like boxing motherfuckers. I'm not going to do anything, dude. I'm just going to out you. You're a punk. You're a fucking punk. You're a little
Stop came
bitch.
to me crying
You're a
about
little
you.
bitch. You're like a girl, dude. You're a girl. You got a pussy between your legs, man.
What are you gonna do?
You're a little pussy, Acid Trip. You're a pussy boy. You're worried about where everybody lives.
Your disabled daughter, white boy.
You're a fucking pussy. You're a pussy. Shut your dick sucker, faggot.
Come on, stop, old man. You're an old man. What are you gonna do? Huh?
You're an emotional cripple, motherfucker. Look at you. You're all excited, you little
Stop came to
bitch.
me crying. Why stop come to me crying about you?
JT's dick, and I don't like you anymore. I don't like you, you fucking JT cocksucker. Get out of my face.
You honky disabled daughter got raped. You raped your granddaughter. Watch your back, right
You're
boy?
a faggot.
Fucking
You had a
honky.
faggot on your couch sucking his dick.
You're a mum, right boy? Go fuck your dead mother. Go on, you fucking
fag,
wanker.
dude.
What were you gonna do?
You're a fucking queer. You're not even
What?
interested in women,
Fuck
man.
you,
All
I
you
got
do is
things to
fuck
do.
with other men because you're a homosexual prick.
Your fucking granddaughter's a homosexual, you fucking pervert.
No, you're a
Fuck you,
homo,
Anna.
dude. It's obvious. Obvious you're a homo.
Ed, Vinny, watch your back. We post on your Facebook.
You act just like an
Watch your back,
emotional little
Vinny.
bitch.
We fucked you up, man, Billy. We post on your Facebook. All your fucking people know. Bye-bye, old man.
Tell on
Bye-bye,
everybody you're a
old bastard.
snitch. You're a
Fuck off.
fucking rat, motherfucker. You're a rat. I put a fucking bullet through your fucking face. You fucking punk.
He left on his own accord. I kept turning him down.
Now he's going to report you for violence. Watch.
Let him.
Such a pussy.
Good, I need
Such
some
a
R&R.
fucking fag. You're such a fag, Acid Trip. You're a fucking real douchebag, dude. You're a bitch. You're a girl. All you do is worry about where everybody lives and doxing everybody. You're like Rusty. You're a total cunt, dude.
Send a letter
You're a
to your
total
neighbor.
fucking cunt.
Duh, I called your neighbor. Duh, I posted on Governor Facebook. Duh. Thinks
Well,
he's
you
gonna
act
turn
like
my-
anybody gives a fuck, man. You're so irrelevant, Acid Trip. You're a douchebag.
Gonna turn
Get some
my
goddamn content, you fucking asshole. Fucking joke. You're a joke in YouTube, dude. I could be able to stand you if you weren't such a fucking douchebag, man. All you do all day is dox everybody. I'd kick your fucking ass, boy. I'd beat the fucking stupid right off your fucking inbred ass, motherfucker. Go cry about me on your stream, bitch. I don't give a fuck. Go dox me some more, motherfucker, like I haven't already been everything doxed in my life. What are you going to tell them? Gonna go after my kid now, you fucking douchebag?
That's pretty much what they're doing.
You fucking piece of shit. Fucking monkey.
You use
You look
Chelsea
like
like
a
they use-
fucking monkey, boy.
He fucking
asshole drug addict motherfucker. Show me your Lotus, motherfucker. Go jump in your Lotus and drive your fucking car, rich man. Fucking jackass. Showing us a goddamn fucking pair of tennis shoes and a fucking handheld vacuum cleaner to try to prove your wealth. You're a fucking asshole, dude.
That's your
You're
boy, Shannon.
Yeah,
your boy.
Shannon embraces this fucking doxing creep. Jesus
Aiding and
Christ.
abetting the enemies. So this is where I'm at. I got to manage my time on this particular account because there's only 20 hours on it until I can recover the other one, or he hasn't gotten back to me on my computer whether it's going to work again or not. Hopefully I'll hear from him in the morning. He was busy today. He had to go way down to Pulaski. You know, he works for Rent-A-Center, so he does a lot of running around. All right, so and I haven't been able to recover the other one where I have unlimited hours, and I think what I might do, just to fuck with them all, this particular account right here, I'm gonna pay for this because it'll overlap, and the premium's gone up, so I'm gonna upgrade this one. If it gets to that point where I can't get the other one, I'm gonna upgrade this one. I mean, the other one, it cost me a little over $300 for the year. I've got.
I don't understand what your problem is. I did the same thing. I spilled orange juice on my fucking last computer and it killed it. Okay, I got a new computer and I just went into StreamYard. It's still there, dude.
I recovered this one first. It won't let me recover the other one yet. It probably will here.
Recover it. There's nothing to recover. You still have that fucking Google account. It didn't kill your account.
Right. No, it didn't kill the account. It's because it's a different machine, different computer. I got to get that account down on my computer, so I'm recovering that account. I've done it a million times. Because I have a lot of accounts.
I just don't understand, dude. You should be able to type in www.streamyard.com and your shit should be right there, dude. No matter what computer
I haven't tried that particular one. I'll try that. I'll try that. I called Dougie.
I don't understand what you're doing, man. How this guy set you up. This shit is not hard, dude. This shit is not difficult.
I just listen. I recovered.
You should have several accounts on your
2 accounts.
You never listen to me. You just will not listen to me, dude. This shit is not hard.
Listen to me.
You can have multiple accounts in your StreamYard where you got unlimited hours forever and ever, and they can never take you down ever. You don't understand this.
Yes, I do.
I have 8 fucking StreamYard accounts with unlimited hours. 8 of them, Billy. All in the same place.
Well, you got tutors helping you. I don't.
No, I don't, Billy. It's called destinations. There's this thing in StreamYard where you pick destinations. You assign different accounts to those. Right. And then it takes 24 hours for each one to become active. Now you got 8 different fucking accounts to choose from to run StreamYard off of.
Well,
I use 3.
We're doing good.
We're
doing good. I'll handle my technical difficulties like you did. Okay. We're doing good.
Why don't you do this, Billy? Do yourself a favor in your spare time.
I'm listening.
You Google in how do I use StreamYard destinations and read it. We'll tell you how to do this. This is how you make multiple accounts with multiple unlimited hours and they can never strike you out. They can try, but you got another account you can go to immediately. Immediately, you can go to another account. But they all have to have separate names. They can't all just be built the same account. They can't be Billy Hayden. They can't all be William Hayden. You have to make different fucking names for the different fucking streams. Like I have Jarl Wiggin. I have Rex Victorum. I have Friggin Wiggin. They all have different names. They have to have different names. They have to be separate Google accounts.
Right. I see that. Yeah, I understand that.
So you study StreamYard destinations. Look that up. It will explain to you how to use those. And once you got multiple destinations, you're only running one StreamYard, and you have several different streaming accounts in there. And when they strike you on one, you just go and use the other one. It's not difficult, man. It's fucking easy, dude.
Excuse me.
But you're stubborn. You don't want to learn. See, what you don't understand is Dougie Doug didn't show you how to do this right. He didn't.
Stay very long.
You don't need all those phones, dude. You don't need the phones anymore.
Anyways,
you don't need all that shit.
We're past that. I think
You're sitting there looking at all these phones, dude. You just open more windows and shit.
You see me, I go into Vegas. I'm not using all my phones. I'll sit here with one or two, and that's it. I haven't been doing like a.
But when you're streaming, you're looking at your phones to read the side chat and shit. It's weird, dude. Whatever you're doing.
Using both. I can see it. I can see it in my StreamYard, and I can see it on my wrenched phone. I look at both of them.
See, that's another problem. You have your wrench on your phone, which is fucking weird. You don't need that either. You don't need that shit like that.
Anyway.
You don't even know how to make a ghost mod.
Anyway.
See, I shouldn't be able to see your wrench. See, I can block your wrench, and then you can't see me.
Yeah,
you can't do shit about me. What you do is make a ghost mod, a fucking account that nobody ever sees. Nobody's ever seen it. You never use it.
I have that account. I do have a ghost account. I see they can't come in my chat without me seeing them. I will see them.
You gotta have that.
Yeah, they can't block me, Rex. They can't block me.
So when you give me a wrench in your room, it's practically worthless because all these motherfuckers got me blocked, or they blocked me coming in the room, and then my wrench is worthless. So I don't even give a fuck about
a wrench. If you have them blocked, you won't see them. But if you have a wrench and you don't have nobody blocked, and they post, you're gonna see them even if they have you blocked.
Yeah, but I don't look. I'm talking about YouTube. See, there's a difference between StreamYard and YouTube. Yeah, I can see them in StreamYard, but not in YouTube because they got me blocked. Now, when I go to time somebody out, I only get the 5-minute timeout. I can't give them a 24-hour timeout. I can't choose which one I want to use on them. I'm stuck with the StreamYard, which is 5 minutes, I believe. Okay, so I'm really limited, is what I'm saying. If you understand the difference between the two.
Well, anyways, I did JC right the last couple of days.
Well, good for you, Billy. I was really glad to see that, and I was glad to see that.
You deserve it. You know, we told each other. I don't hate JC.
I was also glad to see that she's finally figured out what the fuck these people are trying to do to her room.
Gotti did her wrong. If she's been good to anybody, it's been Gotti.
Well, but Gotti's got his head all the way up in Rusty's fucking cunt right now. That's where his head is at. He's got his face right between her thighs. She's got him wrapped up. He sent her his dick or something. She's got something on Gotti. She's got him doxxed or something. If I ever find out where Gotti's at, that boy's going to be in trouble. You better hope, dude, I never find out where you're at, Gotti. If you can help me with that, Acid, I'll get off your fucking ass. You find me Gotti, Acid, and I'll send you $1,000 motherfucking dollars, dude. I ain't shitting you. Find that motherfucker for me, and I will fucking give you money, boy. I'll hire you right now. Got me, fuckhead? You want to do something useful and make a living? I'll pay you to find that fucking bitch. Okay? Find me Gotti. Do something useful. I'll do the rest.
So, all right. Well, I'm gonna end this stream. I gotta reserve my hours here until I get my little situation figured out with the other account and that, so I can go live and not worry about running out of time, or make another account. I make another account, whatever they'll let me do. Okay, I'm trying. I'm learning. Got them all triggered up.
I just don't understand why you're not going in to be in your Billy Hayden account, the normal one you used,
and change the destination. Yeah.
No, just type. You should be able to just type in www.streamyard.com and it should take you right into your shit. I don't understand what the problem here is. I did not have these problems. I just went right back into my account as soon as I got my new computer up
the
and running.
algorithms. They changed the way it works. That's all. I've never. So last call. I'm going to end it. I can save my time on here and go live when I need to, unless you want me to. I could just leave this fucker up and never take it down until I get it straightened. I got to do some administrative work. I don't have a secretary.
You can make multiple free accounts. I don't understand why you can't make another free account even. Why can't you do that, man?
I haven't even tried. I did before and it wouldn't work. Wouldn't let me do it.
Oh, bullshit, man. You can always make free StreamYard accounts.
Oh, I'll give her a try again there, Mr. Wiggin.
You just can't use the same Google accounts. You can't use the same name.
No, all I need is the other one and I'm fine. I don't need to make it. The other one's fine. I use that.
Make a Google account called Patriot Billy, for instance, and then go in and make another StreamYard with Patriot Billy. That's all you got to do. It's just got to be a different name. You've probably already used your free hours for Billy Hayden. You did that last year.
That's here. I still got over 10 hours right here. That's why I say
I'm not talking about this William Hayden account. I'm talking about the Billy Hayden account. You probably already used 20 hours up on that one. You only get that once.
That's this account. That's my spare account. That's this one.
This account is William Hayden, isn't it?
Right. Yeah.
That's not Billy Hayden. It's William. You have two accounts. One's called Billy, one's called William.
Well, one's William and the other one's Billy.
That's right. And you've already used your 20 hours on the Billy one, so you can't use that again.
No, that's this one. That's the account I'm on right now.
Oh, my God. What am I dealing with here? I'm dealing with the madman.
Well,
this is William Hayden, dude. This is not Billy Hayden.
This account doesn't have the 388, 396.
I know, Billy. I know. It's called William Hayden.
Right. So this is the account that I didn't pay for. It's just the 20 free hours. That's this account I'm on right now.
Right.
Okay. All right. So and I still have a few hours. I haven't used my 20 hours, so I'm going to conserve.
And on your Billy Hayden account, you still have unlimited hours. Why aren't you using it?
Right. I can't. It won't let me bring it onto this computer so I can use it. It won't let me recover that account. I should be able to bring it in here, recover it, and use it. It won't let me do it with that one yet for some reason. I don't know why.
Because you haven't added it to the destinations.
Well, I got to go play with it, okay? So be patient with Billy, will you please? Of all people, you need to be patient with me.
You have started this one up in William Hayden, okay, which you don't have a destination for Billy Hayden. You have to click the destination button. Pick the Billy Hayden account. It'll drop it on there. It'll make you wait 24 hours for it. In fact, wait a minute. You set this StreamYard up for 3 hours. That's the problem. You need to get rid of this one. You need to, I don't know what you do now. What the problem is you started a new StreamYard with William Hayden for 20 free hours. Now you can't add your Billy Hayden to this one because it has unlimited hours. You understand?
They want me to upgrade this one, is what they want. They want my money. They want you to pay for it.
No.
They're greedy.
You're going to have to is Dougie going to get back to you? You're not going to listen to me.
I called Dougie yesterday. He got an unexpected phone call. And Dougie, he's welcome to come up here if he wants. He doesn't have to. And we talked a little bit. So I did touch base with Dougie yesterday. If he wants to talk to you about it, he's free to do it if you talk to him. So Dougie and I are cool. I'm cool with Dougie. I'm not mad at Dougie for anything. There's no sense in it. He come up here and help me do this. I'm grateful for that. He didn't have to. I was going to figure it out. I had it figured out. And him doing that, that just provided me with some support, which was good. And here we sit.
Well,
here we sit. They tried. You're right. They tried. They want to take me out. Rusty cannot take me out. Fuck you, Rusty. I'm sick of her.
Well, that's where I stand, Billy. I didn't want anybody taken out. They first came after me. Well, they came after you and me, and now I knew they'd go after JC. That's the big ticket right there.
All right.
That's the main prize that them motherfuckers wanted. If I know Rusty, I know she wants me and JC out of here that she can regain her lost fucking ego. Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah, it makes no sense. JT's into JC's chat, and he's trolling JC like he wants to be her friend, and then he fucking when Rusty does it, Rusty's hoping JC would go away. That's what
the problem that I have learned about JT is once you tell him no, he flips out like a fucking spoiled little brat. He starts banging his head against the floor. You know, he's like a fucking 4-year-old little boy is what he's like. So once you tell him no, his true colors come out and you can see exactly what he is. He
really hasn't gotten a dose of JC yet
something.
either. He's going to piss her off, and it's not good.
And you can see him doing it. He's crying like a little sniveling bitch. He wanted to be the big man on JC's panel. Him and Gotti wanted to run off everybody in her room off the panel, and they wanted to take it over. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to make JC into their bitch, get rid of everybody in there that Rusty didn't like all the women, number one. And I don't care for some things on that room, but you know what? That room is pretty much open to everybody, and there's something for everybody there. So I've never really wanted that room
Stream
down.
owner, she runs it the way she wants. If she wants NEM to have her,
Yeah, but those guys don't fuck with me too much. If I get timed out, it's because I'm being an asshole at the moment. It has happened.
I get timed out. I wasn't even an asshole yet. They won't even let me become an asshole. They tie me out before I get to that point.
But I hope she's got it through her head exactly what these people are trying to accomplish here. Yeah, and I'm glad to see if she is finally figuring out
He is not
what
fooling
these
JC.
fuckers are all about.
Yeah, JC is not fooled by this fucker at all. It's hilarious.
And I don't think she understood how Gotti was playing her on behalf of Rusty. I don't think she understood that part.
She learned the hard way. I think she understands now. Gotti completely threw her under the bus. That's a fact.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. He's a fucking bitch. And he's doing it all for Rusty to try to impress Rusty. I don't know if she's buying him food or sending him pussy or what the fuck he's getting out of the deal. I think sometimes what I honestly think these motherfuckers are doing, I think that she's actually telling them everything I ever did, like how I operate. There's things I do the way I operate, but it works for me. It's not going to work for them because they don't have any clout. They don't have a stream. They don't have a way to really push back. They don't have anybody in their room that matters. Okay. They're not getting 40 fucking viewers, man, when they're streaming. You know, they don't have what I got. They don't have my charisma. They don't have my style. They don't have shit. I can put some pressure on somebody and sometimes get things to happen. They don't have that. But I think what Rusty's telling them is the way I operate, and they're trying to emulate the shit that I do. Like they're trying to be me. You know what I mean? And they just don't have the talent. You know what I mean? And that's what I.
Hi, JC. JC's down there. I think that's her. Let me check. It is. She retracted her message.
Now, why are you shaking your head?
Yeah, that's her.
Why are you shaking your head?
Yeah, she posted "shake my head."
I don't understand. I just tell you the truth. I know a lot more about Rusty than anybody else does here. I fucking guarantee you that. Well, okay, if you were playing him, that's fine. I'll accept that. But I saw what he was doing. He's trying to play you. Definitely trying to play you. It's fucking obvious. He's doing it every minute of the day. But that was what he was attempting to do. And everything he's been doing is for Rusty. Everything is. It's been that way for months. We got him on the phone. Monica gave me the phone call. Gotti and Rusty plotting my death.
I'd like to hear that.
Gotti's supposed to come to my house and clip me. Supposed to knock me off. I've been waiting. Come on down, Gotti. Come on down, fat boy. You can get past the dogs and the fucking armored or the fucking barred windows and doors, man, without me fucking wasting you. You might have a chance, Gotti. Anytime, fat boy.
Okay, I'm going to end this, and I'll come back later. I'll be around chat.
Gotti's gonna pull up in his wheelchair. It's gonna be funny. Gonna be funny watching that motherfucker get splattered all over the road. Yeah, I'll laugh my ass off trying to watch him hustle his ass in his goddamn rascal down the road before I get him. Yeah, it'll be funny.
Somebody needs.
All right, Billy.
Somebody, hold on before you go. Somebody needs to make a meme of both Gotti and Coffee Man in their vehicle road rage. Remember?
I think Coffee Man will run him right off the road. Yeah, I've seen Coffee Man drive over some curbs when he was high. Yeah,
dangerous.
Yeah, you look dangerous out there.
All right, thanks for coming up, and this is going to trigger them even more. Okay, so get ready.
Anyway, wait, let me say one thing. No, JC, I am impressed with you at this time. I'm impressed. I will say that.
JC appreciates the excitement.
What you need to do now is stand your ground, because they're going to make it harder and harder for a while. That fucking psycho little fucking pussy boy ain't going to let up until he's completely stomped out of here like the insect that he is. Because that's what that guy is. He's a total fucking insect.
As soon as I go off air here, they'll probably go live. I don't know. JT get another shot. He's getting pretty raunchy over at his place.
Yeah, they're fucking assholes. They're all Rusty's crew. Everybody there is Rusty's crew. Just understand
I'm
that.
no friend of Rusty's, okay? And this thing with Wolfie and all that, they were wanting me to fucking. She was wanting me to beg for her address and can I have a picture? Oh, you're just the best fucking thing. And Wolfie, people like you are a dime a dozen.
And she's got her head up Rusty's ass too.
Yeah, the rain come in.
In that way, they all do.
Oh, my parents are dead. And then they just dismiss it. So there you go. Now you guys aren't real.
They're all evil, Billy. Those are all witches, by the way. Those are all witches, man.
Yeah.
Real witches.
JC's not a witch. JC doesn't practice witchcraft.
They do. They do.
They do. Yeah.
Rusty does. Rusty's a real witch.
Yes,
Rusty's a real witch.
She thinks she's a witch.
Got sunken heads and everything. Shrunken heads, I mean.
Witchcraft is useless against Billy Hayden. Seriously.
They got the witchcraft going. That's what they're all about. Just understand that. They're all evil fucks. Look at them. Gotti, JT. Those are evil motherfuckers. Yeah, they really are. I want what's best for everybody. And what's best for everybody is that everything stayed the way it was before that little prick showed up. Because everything was okay then. Everything was fine. Until that little prick JT showed up in here. And everybody started
right here. They brought JT here. JT would have never got noticed if not for this chat. Good or bad. Right.
No, Gotti started it. Gotti wanted to replace me. That punk ass Gotti thought he was going to fill my fucking shoes, and that motherfucker can't fill shit. No, that's what it started with. Gotti and Rusty recruited those fuckers from Space Ambient to come over and start his thing.
They had to come here. They thought I was going to fall for it.
Gotti's such a weak bitch. He can't even afford to start his own stream, and nobody would go there anyway. Yeah, he had that fucked up stream years ago that nobody ever went to. He had the stupidest fucking name you could ever have for it, like a total douchebag. Yeah, Yeah, he's
See
worthless.
what I did to him today that fucking got him going? He's calling himself God, right? So
Yeah,
God
yeah,
created.
you're a real god, dude.
Yeah, he created Billy Hayden.
Man,
up
he
that he
thinks
did
he's
that.
God. Fucking God has to hide from fucking little old Jarl Wiggin, huh? You gotta hide, don't you, fucking God? Because I'll beat your fucking ass in for it.
It ain't gonna come
Every
here.
fucking time I see you, fat boy. Fucking punk.
All right, union
Bye,
break.
Billy. Later.
Union break. I'll see everybody later. Thanks for coming. JC, thanks for coming.